Hello, dear students. So let us look into the solution of this paper. This first question, as you can see, is from the ray optics. Here, a ray of laser of wavelength 630 nanometer is incident at an angle of 30 degree at the diamond air interface. Okay, it is going from diamond to air. The refractive index of the diamond is 2.42, and that of air we know is 1. Choose the correct options. So I hope all of you shine like a diamond, and all of you, become like really diamond in your life. Okay. So on the other note, let's look at this question over here. So what is happening? Basically, the ray is going from diamond to the air. All right. That means it is going from denser to the rarer medium. And the question is asking about the angle of refraction. Okay. So let's understand this. Let us say this is diamond. All right, and here the refractive index is, let's say, mu1 is equals to 2.42. All right, now we know that the value of the refractive index of the air is how much, so that is equals to mu2 is equals to 1. All right, and the incident ray is incident at an angle of 30 degree. So here the ray is incident at an angle of 30 degree. Okay, this angle is 30 degree, and the question is asking about the the angle of refraction. Now one thing you must notice here is that the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. If I show you what is the value of theta critical, so theta critical is equals to sine inverse mu2 by mu1. All right, that means sine inverse of mu2 is 1 and mu1 is 2.42. So you can see that this value is less than half. Okay, 1 upon 2.42 is less than half. That means theta critical is less than 30 degree. Okay, theta critical will be less than 30 degree, because we know that sine 30 is half. Okay, sine 30 is half. So this value is less than half. That means this angle will be less than 30 degree. All right. So here the angle of incidence, which is 30 degree, is more than theta critical. Yes or no? Which means the light will suffer TIR. Okay, light will suffer TIR, and there will be no refraction possible. Okay. Now one more thing I would like to tell you in this question. Suppose you were not able to figure this out, ki angle of incidence is more than critical angle, then also you can solve this question. How? Let me assume that ray is able to refract. Okay, let me assume that ray is able to refract. So let us say that this angle of refraction becomes r. All right, so now what you will do, you will apply Snell's law at this point. So you will say that mu1 sin I, okay, mu1 sin I is equals to mu2 sin r. Yes or no? Now mu1 is 2.42 into sine I means sine 30. Okay, sine 30 is equals to mu2 into sine r. Okay, and you can very well see that sine r is becoming 1.21, which is not possible. Okay, so no value of r exists. No value of r exists because sine r can't be greater than 1. That means r not possible. Hence refraction not possible. So this is also going to give you the same thing. I hope you would have understood. All right. Let us look into the next question. Here it's a question on YDSE. The distance between the slits as a function of time is given as d naught is equals to a naught sine omega t. All right, and we have to find the difference between the largest fringe width and the smallest fringe width. Okay, now very easy question. I think most of you would have done this. We know that beta, which is fringe width, is given by lambda capital D upon small d. All right, so if you have to find the maximum value of beta, let us say maximum value of beta is beta 1. So clearly, if you want beta to be maximum, then small d should be minimum. And you can see this function, the small d will be minimum when sine of this sine omega t becomes -1. Yes or no? That means d min will be d naught minus a naught, right? D min will be d naught minus a naught. Hence beta maximum, which is beta 1, is lambda capital D upon d naught minus a naught. Yes or no? Similarly, if you want to find the minimum value of beta, okay, suppose I want to find the minimum value of beta. Okay, so minimum value of beta, let us say, is beta 2, will be lambda capital D upon d maximum. Okay, d maximum, because when the d is maximum, then beta will be minimum. And what is the d maximum? So d will be maximum provided sine omega t is positive 1. Okay, that means this will be d naught plus a naught. So here you can put the maximum value of d, which is d naught plus a naught. So beta will become minimum, and now we can quickly find the difference, beta 1 minus beta 2. So that will be lambda d upon 1 upon d naught minus a naught minus 1 upon d naught plus a naught. Okay, so this becomes how much? If you take the LCM, so this will be d naught plus a naught minus d naught minus a naught. Okay, divided by a minus b into a plus b, you can apply here. So that will become d naught square minus a naught square. So in the numerator, what do we get? In the numerator, we will get d naught and d naught will get cancelled, and here it will become 2a naught upon d naught square minus a naught square. So I think option A is wrong, option B is correct. All right, I hope you would have understood. All right, let us see the next question. Here the water droplets are coming from an open tap at a particular rate. The spacing between the droplets observed at 4th second after its fall to the next droplet is 34.3 meters. At what rate droplets are falling? And remember here gravity is 9.8. So question on the vertical gravity. Okay, let's do the analysis over here. So look, if you read this line, so water droplets are coming at a constant rate. Spacing between the droplet observed at 4th second after its fall. So let's say this is the tap, okay, and from here the droplet falls. So let's say I'm talking about a particular droplet and it falls. Now after 4 seconds it would have fallen through certain height, correct? So let us say this is the droplet here after 4 seconds. Okay, this is the droplet, it has fallen after 4 seconds. So how much is this height? Okay, h4 let me call this. So h4 can be written as half gt square. Height fallen is half gt square using kinematics basically. So gravity is 9.8 into time is 4 into 4. All right, so how much does this become? This becomes 4.9 into 16. Okay, so 16 9 ja how much? 144. So 14 carry and 16 4 ja 64 and 14 68 78.4. This is the value of height fallen by this drop after 4 seconds. Okay. The question says that the third drop was 34.3 meter above. Okay, the next drop that would have fallen. So the next drop that would have fallen will be somewhere over here. Okay, and this distance is 34.3. All right. That means what is the distance fallen by this drop? Okay, so let me call this as height fallen by the fifth drop, or like height fallen by the next drop, or whatever you want to call it. So basically let's call this as h dash. Okay, so height fallen by this drop is how much? So h dash will be 78.4 minus 34.3. Yes or no? And this becomes how much? 0.1, and 8 minus 4 is 4, 7 minus 3 is also 4. So height fallen by this drop is 44.1. Now we can calculate key for what time this drop would have fallen. Okay, for how much time this drop would have fallen. So again I can use h dash is equals to half gt square. Okay, half into gravity 9.8 into t square. All right, so h dash is 44.1. This 2 you can take on the LHS, divide by 9.8. That will be is equals to t square. Okay, now we can see that it cancels by 7. So 7 into 1 and zero point 0.4 and 7 into 6 zero point 0.3. Then again it will cancel by 7. So 7 into zero point 0.2 and 7 into zero point 0.9. Okay, that means this becomes 9. So t square becomes 9, which means time will come out to be 3 seconds. So what do we understand? That the next drop has fallen by 3 seconds, whereas the previous drop has fallen by 4 seconds. That means the next drop was released 1 second after the this drop. That means one drop is being released every second. Okay, one drop is being released every second. So the drop rate is 1 per second. I hope you would have understood. It was a good question. I mean, required a bit of analysis. All right. Here the resistance of a bulb filament is 100 ohm at temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. If its temperature coefficient of resistance is 0.005 per Celsius, then its resistance will become 200 at what temperature? Now look, this question is on the temperature dependent resistance variation with temperature. So we know that resistance can be written as R naught into 1 plus alpha into T minus T naught. Okay, where T naught is the temperature which is at room temperature basically, and if nothing is mentioned in the question, then we take room temperature to be 0 degrees Celsius. Remember this point. Okay, it's a very critical point. So reference temperature it is called, or room temperature basically, which is called as 0 degrees Celsius, which is taken as 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now if you see the value of the resistance is 100 when the temperature is 100. All right, so what is R naught? By the way, R naught is the reference temperature. That means sorry, reference resistance. That means the value of resistance at T naught. Okay, value of resistance at T naught. That means at room temperature. Okay, so look, I will say that the value of resistance has become 100. Okay, value of resistance has become 100 when the temperature T has become 100. So value of T is 100. Okay, and what did I tell you about T naught? T naught will be taken as 0 degrees Celsius if nothing is mentioned. All right. So 100 will be equals to R naught into 1 plus alpha into 100. That is the value of That is the first equation that we will make. Now the question is asking ki when will the resistance become 200 ohm. So I will put R as 200. Okay, R as 200, and temperature, this temperature I have to calculate. Okay, so 1 plus alpha into temperature is how much? Temperature is 200. Okay, minus 0. All right, sorry, temperature I have to calculate, my bad, temperature I have to calculate, T minus 0. All right, now what I will do, I will divide this equation, like this is my equation number 2, this is my equation number 1, equation 2 by equation 1. If I do equation 2 by equation 1, then I will get 2 in the LHS. Okay, 2 in the LHS, and this will get cancelled. So 1 plus alpha t, 1 plus alpha, alpha is given as 0.005, so 1 plus 0.005 t divided by 1 plus alpha into 100. So 1 plus alpha is 0.005 into 100. Okay, so basically this becomes 1.5, denominator becomes 1.5, will go in the LHS, it will become 3. So 1 plus 0.005 into t, that means 0.005 into t becomes 2. So t becomes how much? 2000 upon 5, which means 400 degrees Celsius. So I hope you would have understood. Cool. Let us see the next one. Here, there is a particle of mass m which moves in a circular orbit under the central potential field whose value is given by u is equals to minus c by r. C is a positive constant. We have to find the relation between radius and the basically velocity. Okay. Now look, if you have the potential energy function, then it's a well-known fact that we can get the force using minus du by dr. All right. So if I differentiate this, so what will you get? So basically minus of, so this minuses will be kept outside, and if you differentiate this, so this will be minus c, r to the power minus 1 will make it positive, and upon r square. So force becomes minus c by r square, and this minus sign just indicates the attractive nature of the force. Basically it's a, so basically what is happening, suppose this is the lizard or some cockroach which is moving in a horizontal circle, so this is the attractive force. Okay, so if you talk about the magnitude of the force, basically, so magnitude of the force will be what? Okay, this will be c by r square. Okay, so this force will be is equals to, this will be the centripetal force. Okay, this force is behaving as a centripetal force, so you can write this as mv square by r, right? So r and r gets cancelled, that means c by r is equals to mv square. So what do we understand? That v square into r will be is equals to c by m, hence v square into r is constant. Okay, v square into r is constant. That simply means कि if one of the thing will increase, suppose speed increases, then radius should decrease, and if radius increases, then speed should decrease. Okay, because product of v into r is constant. Okay, that means, in fact, if you look like this. Okay, so let me tell you one thing, option A is wrong. Why option A is wrong? Because here v is also increasing and r is also increasing, so that means that is wrong, because as I said, if one of the variable is increasing, then other variable should decrease. Okay, now look at the option B. In option B, if radius is decreasing, then speed is increasing, and if speed is increasing, then radius is decreasing. Basically this property is being followed. If you go on the x-axis, look, if you move in this direction, so radius goes down but speed increases. Okay, and if you move in this direction, then speed decreases but radius increases, right? So this is being followed, but there is something else also which I wanted to talk about, so I'll come back to this graph in 1 second. Okay, let's check the other options. Here also if you see, so here also if you see, radius is decreasing and speed is increasing. If you move in this direction, so radius goes down but speed increases. Okay, but if you go in this direction, then radius increases and speed goes down. Okay, so option C could also be a possibility. Okay, option D is clearly wrong. That is not possible. Again, this is a straight line graph. Okay, now which will be correct between B and C? So very simple technique is, look, if R goes to infinity, let us say if R goes to infinity, okay, or let us say if R goes to 0, let me say, if R tends to 0, okay, then clearly we can say that V will go to infinity. Okay, because you can understand V square is C by MR. Okay, C by MR. So if R tends to 0, then V will tend to infinity. Yes or no? So that means you can see that here r is tending to 0. Okay, at sorry, my bad, at this point r is tending to 0 at this point. Okay, r is 0, but v, is it tending to infinity? No, v is not tending to infinity. Okay, but if you check out this graph, okay, here as r tends to 0, because here the r is nearly 0, so you can see v is approaching infinity. Okay, v is approaching infinity, so basically we can say that this is the correct graph. Okay, similarly you can say that if v tends to 0, then r will tend to infinity. So option C is absolutely correct. Okay, B will also be a wrong answer. So I hope you would have understood. Correct. Let's see the next question. Now in the next question, it's a question on angular momentum of a planet blend of mass and moving around the sun in an elliptical orbit as well. We have to find the magnitude of aerial velocity. So first let us understand that what is aerial velocity. So imagine that this is sun, okay, and let us say this is the trajectory of the planet, of any planet. You can call Pluto, you can call Earth, Mars, Jupiter, whichever is your favorite planet, okay. So you can take any planet. So let's take Mars, okay. So basically we are Martians, we are Earth, I mean Earthite, I don't know what is that word, Earthite maybe, or Earthians. But let's take this is Mars, okay. So let us say the mass of the Mars is m, okay. Now see, let us say as of now Mars is here, okay, and this is the line joining the sun and the Mars, okay. So let us say Mars is moving in a clockwise sense, okay. Let us say Mars is moving in a, so sorry, not able to draw this straight line. Yes, this looks, so sorry guys, yeah, this looks good, I mean better. So this is the line joining sun and the Mars, okay. This is called position vector of the Mars with respect to sun. So at a particular moment Mars is over here, okay. Now after time dt, after time dt, let us say Mars reaches here, okay. Mars reaches here. So the line joining the Mars to the sun would have become like this, yes or no? So if you see, this line has swept out this area, okay. This is the area swept out the line joining the Mars at the sun. So the, let, if I call this area as dA, okay, if I call this area as dA, this shaded portion, so dA by dt, rate of area being swept, is called aerial velocity, okay. Aerial velocity, the rate of area being swept is called aerial velocity, all right. Now how to find its value? So see, very simple. What is the value of dA? Look, what is the value of dA? So look, if this is r, let me call this distance as r, okay. This distance is r. So this is the velocity vector, just a second, huh? Yeah, so this is the direction of r. So r is still here only, remember, r is still here only. Let me make dotted line instead, okay. R is still from S to M, okay. This is the dotted line, okay. So the, this will be nearly a straight line. Why? Because I'm talking about dt time, so you can approximate this curve as a straight line. Hence this m dash s, m dash s will be a triangle. So what will be the area of this triangle? So that you can write as what, half into r into, this is r will act as a base, into this altitude. Look, this altitude, yes or no, this h, okay. Now look, let us say velocity of the Mars, or sorry, velocity of the Mars is v, okay. Velocity of the Mars is v. So basically if this angle is theta, so this angle will be 180 minus theta, correct? So if you look at this length h, what is the value of h? So h will be mm dash, this is m dash, mm dash sine of 180 minus theta, right? And dash can be written as vdt, because this is the distance traveled by the Mars in dt time. So vdt sine 180 minus theta can be again written as sine theta, right? So look, what does this dA become? This becomes half into r into v dt sine theta. Cool. So what is the value of dA by dt? So dA by dt is half into r into v sine theta. Look, correct? Now, if I ask you what is the angular momentum of this Mars about the sun, so angular momentum of the Mars about the sun will be r cross p, okay. So magnitude of angular momentum will be r p sine theta. Look, this is the radius vector and this is the velocity vector. So angle between radius and direction of velocity and direction of momentum is same. So this will also be the direction of momentum. So angle between radius and velocity is theta, this angle. Okay, this is the radius vector. So we can say that RMV sine theta. Yes or no? So that means you can see RV sine theta is L by M. RV sine theta is L by M. And you can see that half is already present. So that means this becomes L by M. So L by 2M becomes the aerial velocity. Okay, L by 2M is aerial velocity. Okay, I hope you would have understood. Also, in this question, one more thing I can tell you, that since the angular momentum of the Mars about the sun is constant, why? Because the gravitational force always passes through the sun. Okay, gravitational force on the Mars always passes through the sun. Hence, the torque of the gravitational force is zero about the sun, which means that the angular momentum is constant about the sun, which means also that aerial velocity will be constant, because aerial velocity is L by 2m. So aerial velocity of a planet is constant about the sun. Okay, I hope you would have understood. All right. Let us see this question here. This question is the electron of mass Me and proton of mass Mp are accelerated through the same potential difference. The ratio of de Broglie wavelength associated with electron that of proton. Now see, when a charged particle Q is accelerated through a potential difference delta V, let us say starting from the rest. If nothing is mentioned, then we assume that the particle has started from the rest. So when the charged particle Q is accelerated through a potential difference delta V, then what happens? It acquires the kinetic energy Q delta V, where Q is the magnitude of the charge. Okay, Q is the magnitude of the charge. So remember, basically we can say that kinetic energy acquired by the charged particle will be Q into delta V, where Q is the magnitude of the charge. Okay, that is the idea if the particle has been accelerated from the rest. Okay, so here if you imagine, when the electron and the proton both are being accelerated through the same potential difference, okay, through the same potential difference. So the idea here is that basically both have same magnitude of the charge. If you talk about electron or if you talk about proton, the magnitude of the charge is same on both. Okay, magnitude wise they are same, and they are also accelerated to the same potential difference. So if a charge has been accelerated to the same potential difference starting from rest, if nothing is mentioned, then we assume that they have started from rest. That means they will have same kinetic energy finally. Okay, that means both electron and proton will have same kinetic energy. All right. Now we have to compare the de Broglie wavelength. So look, lambda, which is de Broglie wavelength, is equals to h upon mv. Now mv is the magnitude of what? Linear momentum. Okay, and linear momentum can be written as under root 2 into mass into kinetic energy. Okay, linear momentum can be written as under root 2 into mass into kinetic energy. So from here you can say that this becomes under root twice into mass into kinetic energy, and since both have same kinetic energy, so you can say that lambda will be proportional to 1 by under root. That means lambda of electron to that of lambda of proton will be inverse ratio of mass of proton to mass of electron. Okay, so option C will be the correct answer for this question. All right. Here what happens in a series LCR circuit, the inductive reactance is 10 ohms, the capacitive reactance is 4, and the resistance is 6. The power factor of the circuit. So very simple. Basically, we know that power factor is given by cos phi. Okay. So if I find the value of cos phi, so cos phi you know is given by R by Z. Okay. Z is nothing but under root of R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So R square is how much? R square is 6 square. XC minus XL, so 4 minus 10 whole square. Okay, 4 minus 10 whole square. That means this will become under root of 6 square plus 6 square. So this becomes 6 root 2. So we can say that the cos phi will be R by Z. R is how much? 6 and Z is 6 root 2. So cos phi becomes 1 by root 2. Okay, so option D will be the correct answer. Very, very formula based question. I'm sure you would have done this. Easy 4 marks. The difference between the threshold wavelength for the two metal surface A and B having work function 9 electron volt and 4 point in nanometer is. So basically for the surface A, you know, first let me tell you what is the formula for finding the threshold wavelength. So threshold wavelength lambda naught is equals to hc upon phi, and if you put phi in the electron volt, then you will get lambda in the nanometers. Okay, so for the lambda A, if I talk about, so that will be hc upon 9, and using the formula of 1242, this you can write as 1242 upon 9. Okay, so how much does this become? This will become 9 into 1, 9 into 1, and 3 4 is 9. How much? 9 into 1, 5 will be 3 will be left, 3 4, so 9 uh, into 3 27. Okay, and 7 to 9 it is 72, so this becomes 138. Okay, similarly lambda b will be hc upon 4.5, so this will be 1242 upon 4.5, so 4.5 can be written as 9 by 2, and this was 138, so this will become 276. So what is the difference? Difference will be 276 minus 138, which is nothing but 138. So I hope you would have understood. All right, this is a fact based question, guys, talking about the source of a particular type of EM wave generation. So if you talk about the microwave, of course it is generated from the magnetron. Infrared frequency, it is generated from the vibration of atoms and molecules. So you might be knowing that when in the hydrogen element also, Balmer corresponds to the visible region, and the higher radiations, Lyman corresponds to the ultraviolet, and the higher radiations basically, like Paschen bracket, they correspond to the infrared. Okay. Gamma corresponds to the radioactive decay of the nucleus. So you know that gamma rays are produced from within the nucleus. So that means C will match with the 1. Microwave will match with the magnetron. So this will match with the 2. Infrared frequency will match with the 4. And the source of X-ray happens when the inner shell electrons, basically it happens when the like inner shell electron, K shell, L shell electron jumps, is knocked out, and the higher shell electrons jump to the K shell, L shell for a atomic, for an element of high atomic number. Okay, so that is how the X-rays are generated. So if you see, A matches with 2, B matches with 4, C matches with 1, so option A is correct answer, D matches with the third one. Okay, now let's talk about in this question, just a second. In LCR circuit, the capacitance is changed from C to 4C. For getting a resonance frequency which is double the former resonant frequency, the inductance should be changed to. Now, very easy question. I think everybody should have done this question. We know that resonance frequency is what? 1 upon 2 pi under root of LC. Okay. Now, we want the resonance frequency to be double of former. So that means the new resonance frequency should be 2FR. Okay. And what has been done to the capacitance? Capacitance has become 4C. So the new inductance, let us say it becomes L dash. So if I divide the second equation by the first equation, so LHS will become 2, 2 pi, 2 pi will kill each other, C will kill each other. So on the RHS, what we will get? 1 upon root L upon 1 upon under root 4 L dash. Okay. Sorry, I had divided second by first, so it should be opposite. My bad. I had done equation 2 by equation 1. That means it will be 1 upon under root 4 L dash upon 1 upon under root L. Okay. So this you can see that this will become 1 upon 2 under root L dash upon, and this root L will go in the numerator. So from here you can see that root L dash will be root of L by 4. So L dash will be L by 60. So option D will be the correct answer for this question. Fairly simple one. All right. Then here what happens, there's a normal density of a material is rho and the bulk modulus of elasticity is K. The magnitude of increase in the density of material when the pressure P is applied uniformly on all sides. So what is happening? Imagine that this is some material. Okay. Now we are applying the pressure P. Okay. We are applying the pressure P from all sides. That means you can say that the incremental pressure is P, because that is the amount of pressure that we are applying from every side. So how much pressure will increase? That will be P only. Okay. Question is asking about the increase in the density of the material. Okay, now understand that bulk modulus. Bulk modulus here is given as K. So bulk modulus is what? That is equals to minus delta P upon delta V by V, right? Delta V by V. That is the value of bulk modulus. All right. Now remember that mass is going to be constant. Okay, mass is going to be constant. So mass can be written as density into volume. Density into volume. Yes or no? Okay. So if I basically talk about the change in the mass delta m. So delta m will be 0, but delta m, or before let me first take log and then I will differentiate. So ln m will become ln of rho plus ln of v. Rho is the density of the material. Okay, so basically if I now differentiate this, so dm by m will be is equals to d rho by rho plus dv by v. All right. Now look, dm by m will be 0 because we can say that mass will not change. So that means d rho by rho will become minus dv by v. Okay. And for small changes, delta v by v, whether you write or you write dv by v, it will hardly matter, because for small changes, delta v or dv will be same. So you can write this bulk modulus as minus dp upon dv by v also. Okay. For small changes, we can do like that, because generally when you compress a material by applying the pressure, the volume does not change too much. It like, suppose if I am compressing it, volume will change very, very small. So that means minus dv by v can be written as d rho by rho. Okay, so that means if you look at this expression, okay, so the bulk modulus will become how much? Minus will be gone, okay, and dv by v will become minus dv by v will become d rho by rho. Okay, so if you see, d rho by rho becomes dp by k. Okay, and dp, as I said, whether you write dp or delta p, it will be same, so that will be p. Like you can say dp is equals to delta p is equals to p. So dp becomes p, and this rho will come in the numerator and k will be in the denominator. So this will be the change in the density, rho p by k. So rho p by k, option D will be the correct answer for this question. All right. Then in thermodynamics, heat and work are, now all of us know that heat and work both are path functions. Okay, internal energy, or rather change in the internal energy, is a state function. It does not depend upon the path. What does that mean? Ki suppose you are going from state 1 to state 2, that means P1 B1 T1, 2 we are going P2 V2 T2. Okay, so you are changing the state of the gas. Okay, so this is the state 1 and this is the state 2. So when you go from state 1 to state 2, the value of change in the internal energy does not depend upon the process. That means whether you went from state 1 to state 2, whether you went isobarically or you went isochorically, it is irrelevant. But for the heat and for the work done, it is absolutely relevant, because if you know Q is NC delta T, okay, Q is NC delta T, and the value of C depends on the path, okay, depends on the process that you are choosing, which is why Q is a path function. And similarly, work done is integral PdV. Okay, the integral PdV value will also change depending upon the path. Okay, so both of them are path functions. All right. Here there are two ions having same mass. Two ions having same mass have charges in the ratio 1 is to 2. They are projected normally in a uniform magnetic field with the speeds 2 is to 3, the ratio of the circular trajectories. Now, of course, you must understand that it's a question from motion of the charge in the uniform magnetic field. Very easy question. These kind of questions are very prominent also in the GE. So I hope that you would have done this question. So suppose there's a particle 1 and this particle 2. Now particle 1 has mass m, particle 2 also has mass m, but particle 1 has charge q and the particle 2 has charge 2q. All right, they are projected perpendicular to the magnetic field, and their speeds are in the ratio 2 is to 3. So if this is speed 2v, then this will be having speed 3v. We have to find the radius of the circle, ratio of the radius of the circle. Very easy question. We know that r is equals to mv by qb. Okay, so that means if I talk about the value of r1 is to r2, that will be is equals to m1 v1 upon q1b divided by m2 v2 upon q2b. Okay, now m is same for both, so that can cancel. Magnetic field will be same for both, so that can cancel. V1 is 2v, q1 is q, okay, and v2 is 3v, and q2 is 2q. All right, so I think this becomes qv gets cancelled. 2 to the 4 into 3. So option B will be the correct answer for this question. All right, let us see the next one. Here there are two different metal bodies A and B of equal mass, and they are heated at a uniform rate under the similar condition. The variation of temperature of the body is graphically represented, the ratio of specific heat capacities. So look, basically, the body is being given at a heat at the uniform rate. So we know that that suppose Q is the heat given to any body, so that is equals to ms into dt. Okay, so if I differentiate this basically, so we can say that dq by dt, the rate of heat. In fact, you can write this dq. Okay, dq means the amount of heat. Suppose you give dq amount of heat, so temperature will change by dt. Okay, so if you give dq amount of heat to any object, so temperature will change by dt. So if I differentiate this equation with respect to time, so this will become dq by dt will be equals to ms dt by dt. All right, so dq by dt is the rate at which heat is being given, and dt by dt is the rate of change of temperature. All right, now if you look at both body A and B, okay, they are being given heat at the same rate. That means dq by dt is same for both. So basically you can say that they are receiving heat at the same rate. Yes or no? That means we can say that the mass of A into specific heat of A into dTA by dt, this should be equals to mass of B into specific heat of B into dTB by dt. Okay, because dq by dt is same. Mass was equal as given in the question. That means we can say that SA is to SB will be equals to dTB by dt upon dTA by dt. All right, that means now what is the dTB by dt? So that is the rate of change of temperature, which is the slope of the temperature time graph. Okay, so if you look for the B, okay, if you look at this region, look, this region we will not consider because here temperature has become constant, so that must be the phase change. If you remember, when the phase of the body changes, then the temperature becomes constant. So this is the phase change region. So here, this Q is equals to ml formula will be used. So that is not the region we should consider. We should consider this region. Here the temperature is changing. So what is the slope? So you can see this is slope is like if you look at this theta. So basically, this will be how much? 90. This is 90 upon 6. 90 upon 6 is how much? 15. Okay, this 90 upon 6. So this becomes 15. divide by, this is how much, this is 120 upon 3. Okay, 120 upon 3. So 120 upon 3 is how much, 40. So this becomes 5 into 3 upon 5 into 8. So 3 is to 8. Option B will be the correct one. All right. Which level of singly ionized carbon has the same energy as the ground state energy of hydrogen? Assume Bohr model is applicable. Now look, Bohr model is only applicable for single electron ion or particles, but singly ionized carbon will have 5 electrons because carbon has 6 electrons. So singly ionized means 1 electron has been taken out, which means 5 electrons are present. But since the question is saying that assume Bohr model to be applicable, so that is what we will do. Okay. Now you know that energy in the Bohr model, okay, for the nth state can be written as minus 13.6 into z square by n square. Okay, now question is saying that which level of carbon will have same energy as the ground state energy of hydrogen. So if I talk about the energy of hydrogen, so for the hydrogen, Z is 1, Z is the atomic number, so that will be 1. And since we are talking about the ground state, so N will also be 1. So this will be the energy of the ground state electron in the hydrogen. Okay, for the carbon, if we talk about, so that will be minus 13.6 into Z will be 6 for the carbon, and let us say the nth level, which is what we have to calculate. So I'm putting this as N itself. So question wants that these two things should be equal. So minus 13.6, which is for the hydrogen, should be equals to minus 13.6 into 6 square by n square. That means you can see that n will be nothing but 6 itself. Okay, so very easy question again. Option B will be the correct answer for this question. All right. What is the potential at point O? So let us say the potential here is X. We can simply apply the nodal analysis at the point X. Okay, so X minus 6 into 4. Okay, X minus 6 into 4 plus X minus 5 into 1. Okay, then X minus 0 into 3. Okay, X minus 0 into 3 plus X minus 0 into 3 again. Okay, X minus 0 into 3. That should be 0 using nodal analysis. So this becomes 4X. Okay, then this becomes X, then this becomes 3x plus 3x, that means 6x, and this becomes 24. 24 I will take on the RHS, so this will go on the RHS, so this will become 24, this will become 5, and this will be 0 0. So how much this will become? 6 plus 4, 11, x basically it will become 29, so x becomes 29 by 11, so that means this is 2.64. Option C will be the correct one. Let us see the next question. A horizontal force is applied at the top of a uniform sphere of mass m and radius r placed on a horizontal surface. Friction is sufficient to prevent slipping. The frictional force acting on the sphere is again a procedural question on the rolling basically. So let's say that this kind of force F is acting. Now you can write the torque equation and about the bottom point also, or about the center of mass. So I'll write about the center of mass. That will be one line extra, but it will be easy for many of you to understand. Okay, so we have to find the force of the friction. Now, in this question, many of you might get confused about the direction of friction, whether to assume forward or backward. Now, see, let me tell you something here. Like you can assume any direction of friction. If you have chosen correctly, then it will come out to be positive. If you have chosen wrongly, then it will come out to be negative. That's it. So I know that in this question, direction of friction will be forward, but deliberately I will assume it to be backward. Okay, deliberately I'm assuming it to be backward. So you will see that it will come out to be negative. Friction will come out to be negative. That will be an indication that direction was opposite to what you have chosen. Okay, so look, what is the force equation that I will write? So let us say center of mass accelerates at A, C. So you will write positive force minus negative force is equals to mass into acceleration of center of mass. All right. Torque equation about center of mass we can, let's say, is alpha. I mean about center of mass, let us say the angular acceleration is alpha. So about the center of mass, what is the torque equation? F into radius. Okay, this is the clockwise torque, and friction is also going to produce the clockwise torque, because if you apply friction like this, then body will have clockwise rotation. So F into radius plus friction into radius, both are producing clockwise torque. That will be I center of mass. So for a uniform solid sphere, the I center of mass is 2 by 5 m square into alpha. Okay, and using the condition of pure rolling, we can say that AC is equals to R alpha. This is the condition of pure rolling. Okay, now we can very easily solve these three equations. Look, R gets cancelled, and remaining one R alpha you can substitute by AC. Okay, so if you look, this will become 2 by 5 m, and R alpha will become AC. Okay, now what we can do? So look, here F, capital F minus a small f, and here capital F plus a small f. So if I add these two equations, so minus f and plus f will get cancelled, 2f will be left. Here MAC plus 2 by 5 MAC. That means 7 by 5 MAC. So what is the value of MAC that we get? We get that as 10f by 7. Okay, 10f by 7. And if I put the value of MAC here, 10f by 7, so you can see capital F minus small f becomes 10f by 7. So friction has automatically come minus 3f by 7. Can you see that? So again, as I said, minus sign just indicates that the direction that you had chosen was so reality friction, in real friction will be opposite of that. So that means friction actually will be acting in the forward direction and the value will be 3f by 7. Okay, so I hope you have understood. So that means friction will act in the direction of capital F. I hope you would have understood. All right. Now let us see this question. So in this question, basically we have a magnetic field which is a function of x and direction is k cap. That means it is coming towards us. This is a square loop which is placed parallel to the xy axis and loop is moved at a constant velocity v naught I cap. That means loop is moved in the this direction. Okay, with the speed v naught. We have to find the induced EMF in the loop. Many ways to do this question. You can use Faraday's law. You can use motional EMF. So I'll do this by using motional EMF. So remember, in any element or in any conductor which is of length dl, the EMF induced dE will be dl, I mean length perpendicular component, magnetic field perpendicular component, velocity perpendicular component. Okay, so this is the small EMF induced in a small element where dl is the length of that element, b and b is the magnetic field and velocity. So mutually perpendicular components of dl v and dl b and v you have to take. Okay, so look, one thing we must understand here is that key, just a second, key, suppose if you look, so let me label this a p q r s, let me label p q r s. Okay, so look, in this segment sr, the EMF induced will be 0. Why? Because the length, if you see, length is going to be along the direction of velocity. Okay, so if you like, you can see this whole length, or even if you consider a small length, so small length is along the direction of velocity. That means there is no component of length which is perpendicular to velocity. So this on this is entire red length, EMF induced will be 0. Same logic holds true for this PQ. On this entire PQ length, EMF induced will be 0 because the length is parallel to the velocity vector. Okay, so there is no component of length which is perpendicular to velocity. So on the SR and PQ, there will be no EMF induced. Okay, now let's talk about the PS. Okay, now in the question shown, basically we can say that the PS is on the y-axis, so x will be, x coordinate is 0. But even if it was not the case, then also answer will come out to be same. But since here the question is saying that the PS is on the y-axis, so you can assume x to be 0 here. Okay, so but even if the square was here, okay, then also the answer will not change. You can do it and you can check it, the answer will not change. Okay, in fact the EMF induced is independent of the location of the square. Let me show you also this fact, it will be interesting. Suppose the square has reached here. Okay, suppose the square has reached here. Okay, so this coordinate will be x. So this x is going to be constant because this line is all the points on this line is having the same x coordinate. Okay, all the points on this line is going to have the same x coordinate, right? So magnetic field at this location, magnetic field at this location will be what? It will be b naught into x by a. Okay, remember the magnetic field is constant because x is same for all the entire line PS, the x is same. So magnetic field is not going to change on this. So what will be the EMF induced? So EMF induced on the PS will be magnetic field, which is b naught into x by a. Magnetic field is towards us. Okay, and the length of this line is equals to the side length of the square, which is d, into the velocity. Velocity is v naught. So velocity you can see is along the x-axis, length is along the y-axis, and magnetic field is along the z-axis. So all three components are mutually perpendicular. Okay. Now, how do we check the polarity of the EMF? So, like whether the EMF will be like this or it will be like this. So, for polarity, it is always positive. Polarity is in the direction of v cross d, velocity cross magnetic field. So, if you see velocity is along the x-axis, magnetic field is towards us. So, v cross b is pointing down. That means this type of polarity will be introduced. That will be the EMF in the PS. Now, if I talk about QR, so look, if this line had an x coordinate of x, so QR will have an x coordinate of x plus d because this length is d. And again, this whole line will have the same x coordinate. So magnetic field at this location will be b naught into x plus d upon a. Okay, so what will be the EMF on the QR? So that will be magnetic field into b naught into x plus d upon a. That is the magnetic field into the length of this line, which is d, into the velocity. Again, all three are mutually perpendicular, just like PS. So this will be the EMF induced, and polarity will also be like this. Okay, so the net EMF induced in this whole loop, you can see, will be this value minus this value. Look, because if I start from R, then this much is rising. You can see this much potential rises, and then this much potential drops. So do not add these potentials. They are in the opposite sense actually. So E net, you will say, will be E of QR minus E of PS. So the moment you do this, E of QR minus E of PS, you can see that this B naught x by A, D into V naught will cancel out. This will cancel out, and you will be left with B naught into D square V naught upon A. So you can observe that position of square does not matter, even if the square was anywhere on the x-axis. I mean, anywhere it is, the value will come out to be same. B naught D square V naught by A. So option B will be the correct answer for this question. All right. Now let us see the next one. A student is performing an experiment of resonance column. The diameter of the tube is 6 centimeter. The frequency of the tuning fork is 504. Speed of the sound at the given temperature is 336. The zero of the meter scale coincides with the top end of the resonance column. The reading of the water level when the first resonance occurs. So basically, suppose there's a question on resonance column method. So let us say when the first resonance occurs, okay. So you know that, let us say water level has reached over here. All right, water level has reached over here. So at the first resonance, this will be the scenario. Okay. So where now look, this is the end correction, and you are measuring the basically water column from this point, because as question says, the meter scale was zero of the meter scale is here. So this is the reading of the air column that meter scale will measure. Okay, L. Now look, we know that end correction is 0.6 times the radius of the tube. Diameter is 6 centimeter, so radius will be 3 centimeter. That means this is 1.8 centimeter. Okay. Now look, this is the antinode and this is the node. Distance between the consecutive antinode and the node we know is lambda by 4. So from here till here, distance is lambda by 4. So we can say that lambda by 4 will be is equals to this length of the air column plus end correction E, right? Now lambda is the wavelength of the wave, which we can write as speed of the sound wave divided by frequency. So this is lambda by 4 is equals to L plus E. Speed of the sound wave is given as 336. Frequency is 504 into 4 is equals to L plus E. E is 1.8 centimeter, remember. Okay. Whereas this will be in meters. So 4 into 1. So this is in meters. Okay. 4 into 1 and 4 into 4 it's a 32 and 1 is left. So 1684. Okay. So this becomes 84 upon 504 meters. So if you convert this into centimeter, it will be 8400. Now this everything is in centimeter. It's minus 1.8. So this will L will come out to be in centimeter. We can still cancel by 4, so this will be 4 into how much 126. All right, and 4 into 2100. Okay, this will cancel by 3, so 3 into 42. Okay, and 3 into 700. 7 into 6, 7 into 100. 100 by 6 is how much? 50 by 3. 50 by 3 minus 1.8, that should be equals to L. This becomes 16.66 minus 1.8 centimeter. So 16.66 minus 1.8 will be nearly 14.8. We can say best option is C. Okay. Then a body of mass 2 kg moving with the speed 4 makes an elastic collision with another body at rest, continues to move in the original direction but with a speed 1/4 of the initial speed. So we have to find the center of mass speed. So let's understand what is happening. Let's say this is an object of mass 2 kg. It was moving at the speed of 4 meter per second. All right. There's another body. Let's say its mass is m2 and it was at rest. Okay. Now after collision, what happens? The original body moves in the same direction. So this is the body A. Okay, and this is the body B. So body A moves in the same direction but speed 1/4. That means it will continue to move at 1 meter per second. Okay. But body B if we talk about, so its speed is, let us say, v2. Now look, since the collision is elastic, so we can say that velocity of separation will be is equals to velocity of approach. Yes or no? So what is the velocity of separation? It is v2 minus 1. This is the velocity of separation, and velocity of approach was 4 minus 0 because m2 was at rest. So clearly v2 becomes 5 meter per second. All right. Now we can conserve the linear momentum. So 2 into 4 plus m2 into 0, which will be 2 into 1 plus m2 into v2. m2 into v2 is 5. So this becomes 8 minus 2 upon 5. This is m2. Implies m2 becomes 6 by 5, which is 1.2 kilograms. All right. Question is asking us to find the velocity of center of mass. Now you know that in a collision, velocity of center of mass will not change. So whether you find by the final situation or you find by the initial situation, both will give you the same velocity of center of mass. So vcom you can, so I will find by the initial situation, that will be m1 u1 plus m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2. So m1 is 2 kg, u1 is 4, m2 is 1.2, u2 is 0, m1 is 2, m2 is 1.2. So this becomes 4 to the 8 upon 3.2, which means, sorry, yeah, 3.2 only. So this means 80 by 32. So 8 into 4, 8 into 10. So 10 by 4 means 2.5 meter per second. All right. So basically x will become 25. Okay. Here what is happening, the value of susceptibility is given as 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 5. The percentage increase in the magnetic field if the space within the current toroid is filled with aluminium is this. So you have to find the value of x. Now look, basically inside a toroid, okay, toroid looks like a donut. I think all of you know this. Okay. So basically magnetic field inside the toroid is mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. Okay, this is the magnetic field. Now this is the magnetic field provided there is no, I mean inside the toroid there is vacuum. That means there is no material you have filled. But if you have filled the entire region with the aluminium, so magnetic field will increase by a factor of mu r. Okay, because permeability will become mu r times. So suppose the region has been filled with a permeability of mu r. So the new magnetic field will become mu r into mu naught into n into I upon 2 pi r. Cools. So now we have to find the percentage increase in the magnetic field. That means we have to find B2 minus B1 upon B1 into 100. This is what we have to calculate. Okay. So look, if you do B2 minus B1, so this will be mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. This will come out to be common, and you will be left with mu r minus 1. This is will be the numerator divided by B1. B1 is mu naught Ni by 2 pi r, and then multiplied by 100. Cool. So you can see that this entire thing will be khatched. Mu r minus 1. So relative permeability minus 1 is called as susceptibility. Okay. And susceptibility was this 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 5. This multiplied by 100. This is what we are getting. This becomes 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 3. This is the answer. Now this answer has been represented as x upon 10 to the power 4. So basically x upon 10 to the power 4 is 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 3. So the value of x will be how much? 22. Cools. I hope you would have understood. Okay. Here, a particle of mass 1 milligram and charge q is lying at the midpoint of two fixed particles kept at a distance of 2 meters when each is carrying the same charge q. If the free charge particle is displaced from its equilibrium position through distance x, the particle executes SHM, then the angular frequency of oscillations will be. So suppose there are two fixed particles q and q. All right, they are at a distance of 2 meters from each other. Okay, so this distance is 2 meters. Okay, so remember. Now the another charged particle which is free to move. So it is kept at the middle point. Now it is slightly displaced from its equilibrium position and it will execute SHM. So you have to find the angular frequency. Now look, you cannot displace this particle in this direction or in this direction or in this direction, because then the SHM will not happen. Because then suppose if I disturb in this direction, then this q will repel, this q will also repel. Hence this particle will now move in the upward direction, so it will not come back. That means force will not become restoring. So for SHM to happen, you must have displaced, we can say, in the left or right direction. So let's assume that it has been displaced in the right direction, okay, by a small distance x. Now what will happen? The force due to this particle, let's say this is the particle 2 and this is the particle 1. Okay, so this force will become repulsive. Okay, so F2, what is the value of F2? F2 will become K into Q, because this was also Q. So K into Q divided by new distance will become, now look, this was 1 originally, this distance was 1, but it has come x left side, so this new distance has become 1 minus x. Okay, so 1 minus x whole square. This is the force towards the left. This is the force towards left, which is why I'm putting a minus sign. And what is the force applied by the right particle? Right particle is applying a force F1. What is the value of F? Not the right, left particle. The force applied by the left particle F1 will be K into Q divided by 1 plus X. Okay, 1 was original distance plus X. So 1 plus X square. All right. And this is a positive force. Clearly, the negative force is more because denominator is less and the positive force is less. So we can say that net force will be minus kq square upon 1 minus x square plus kq square upon 1 plus x square. All right. Now, if I take kq square common, so this will be 1 upon 1 plus x square minus 1 upon 1 minus x square. Okay. So if we take k, now basically kq square, and if I take the LCM, so this will be 1 minus x square minus 1 plus x square divided by, this will be 1 plus x square minus 1 minus x square, so that will become 1 plus x square into 1 minus x square. All right. Now look, this is kq square. So here if you expand the brackets, you will get 1 plus x square minus 2x, and this will be minus of 1 minus x square minus 2x. Okay. So look, 1 plus x square will get cancelled. And since x is much small, x is very, very small, then 1, so we can say that in presence of 1, you can ignore x. So 1 plus x will be approximately 1, and 1 minus x will also be approximately 1. So the denominator can be treated as 1. 1 square into 1 square basically it will become. So what is the net force we are getting? Okay, net force we are getting is F net basically is becomes how much? Kq square into minus 2x minus 2x. That means minus 4x. Okay. So that means the force is proportional to x and it is restoring in nature because here you can see a negative sign. So now we can say that angular frequency, which is what we have to find, will be root of force constant upon m. So this is the force constant. Kq square into 4. This is the force constant upon the mass. Okay. So now we can put the values. We know that here this k is the Coulomb's constant, which is 9 into 10 to the power 9. Q square was given as 10 Coulomb square, so Q square will become 10. And mass of the particle was, look, 1 milligram. So 1 milligram is 10 to the power minus 3 gram, which means it is 10 to the power minus 6 kilogram. Okay, in kg. So look, what does this become? If you check out the powers of 10, so 9 plus 1, 10, plus 6, 16. So outside it will become 10 to the power 8. 9 4 36 will become 6. So answer will be 6 into 10 to the power 8. I hope you would have understood. All right. Let us see the next one. A point charged 12 microcoulomb is at a distance of 6 centimeter vertically above the center of a square of side 12. The magnitude of flux through the square will be. Now look, if you try to understand the situation, so let me show you in the x, y, z axis. So let us say that this is the x axis, this is the y axis, and this is the z axis. Okay. Now if I draw this square, so look, this square is somewhat like this. Okay, or let me draw here. Okay. So this square is in the horizontal plane. XZ plane is the horizontal, and above the center, if we go, so this length is 12, this length is 12, this length is 12, this length is 12. All right. Now if I go 6 centimeter above, then here the charge has been placed. Okay. So if I imagine on my own 5 more squares like this, so one square is like this. Okay, then other square is like this, other square is like this, one more square is like this. So basically, and one is this square. So the cube will be completed, and if you understand, this cube length will be 12. So this charge will be at the center. So using Gauss's law, we can say that the flux through the entire cube will be q upon epsilon naught. Using this is the flux through the cube. Now since the charge is exactly at the center, so we can say that each face will get equal flux. So the total flux will be divided amongst the 6 faces of the cube. So this square which was kept below will get 1/6. So the flux will be q by 6 epsilon naught. Okay. So what is the value of q by 6 epsilon naught? Q is 12 microcoulomb, and epsilon naught. So basically, if you put the value of epsilon naught, so epsilon naught is nearly 8.85 into 10 to the power how much? Minus 12. Okay. So if we take it in the numerator, So 6, it will become 2. This will go in the numerator, so it will become how much? 10 to the power 6 upon 8.85. Okay. So look, this becomes, now we have to express the answer in terms of 1000. So this will be 2000 upon 8.85 into 10 cube. All right. So if you do the math here, it will come out to be nearly 225.98 approximately. Okay, I have done this using calculator, but if you do this, so this will come out to be like this. So the nearest integer you have to say, so this will become 226. Okay, so this will become 226. All right. Then here what happens in the reported figure, the value of acceleration due to gravity is same at point A and C, but it is smaller than the value at B. So we have to find OA is to AB. So let us first understand the question. So look, let us say the radius of the earth is 6400, which is given. So C is chosen at a distance of r by 2 above the surface. Look. So look, this distance is r by 2. Yes or no? So that means OC, if you look, will become 3r by 2, because this will be r and plus r by 2. Now you should recall that gravitational field, which is nothing but gravity, value of gravitational field or gravity will be same. So gravity inside the earth's surface, okay, will be given as g into m into x upon r cube. Okay, gmx by r cube, where x is the distance from the center. Okay, where x is the distance from the center. All right. So this distance I'm calling as x. Okay. So this is the gravity at the point A. And outside the earth, the gravitational field or gravity, which you want to call, will become gm by x square, where x is the distance from the center. So that means for the point C, distance from the center is OC, which is 3r by 2. So this will become 3m by how much? This will be 3r by 2 whole square, right? Now the question is saying that gravity is same at A and C. That means GC is equals to GA. GC is equals to GA. So if I do GC is equals to GA, so that means GM upon 3r by 2 whole square will be is equals to GMX upon, this will be r cube. Okay, so GMX by r cube. All right. So from here GM gets cancelled. So if you see, x becomes what? R cube upon 3r by 2 whole squared. That means this will become how much? 2 to the 4 by 9r. Okay, 4 by 9. So x becomes 4 by 4r by 9. Okay. Now we want to find the value of OA is to AB. So look, OA is 4r by 9. OA is 4r by 9. And OA is to AB. AB is how much? AB will be r minus 4r by 9. Okay, AB will be r minus, because this is r. So r minus 4r by 9, so that means 5r by 9. That means OA is to AB will be 4 is to 5. So the x will be is equals to 4. I hope you would have understood.
In this question, actually, it is asked that which of the following carbonyl compound cannot be prepared by hydration of alkynes in presence of HgSO4, H2SO4, right? So, as per concept, कोई भी एल्काइन आप लेते हो उससे यूजुअली कीटोन बनता है एक्सेप्ट एसिटिलीन. एसिटिलीन इज द ओनली एल्काइन जिसका आप वाटर के साथ रिएक्शन कराते हो इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ दैट कैटलिस्ट HgSO4. तो इससे बेसिकली क्या बनता है CH2 डबल बॉन्ड CHOH, राइट, वाटर का मार्कोनी का कंडीशन. तो इससे प्रोडक्ट आप टाटोमेराइज करके एल्डिहाइड बना लेते हो. देयर इज नो अदर एल्काइन व्हिच कैन फॉर्म एल्डिहाइड एज अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ हाइड्रेशन, राइट. तो ये तो नहीं बना सकते, बात बिल्कुल तय हो गई. ठीक है, यानी कि यही आंसर हो गया. आपको यही तो पूछा था विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंपाउंड कैन नॉट बी प्रिपेयर्ड. बाकी सब प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं. ये कीटोन बन जाएगा, ये एल्डिहाइड तो बनाई आपके सामने, देखिए CH3CHO, एंड ये भी कीटोन बन जाएगा. सो दिस इज द ओनली ऑप्शन विच कैन नॉट बी प्रिपेयर्ड बाय हाइड्रेशन ऑफ एल्काइन. तो जो ए ऑप्शन है वही आपका करेक्ट ऑप्शन हो जाएगा. ओके, सेकेंड रिएक्शन पे आ जाते हैं. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग टू स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट और इनकरेक्ट, ये आइडेंटिफाई करके बेस्ट ऑप्शन अपने को चूज करना है. ओके, पहला स्टेटमेंट है मिक्सचर ऑफ क्लोरोफॉर्म एंड एनिलीन कैन बी सेपरेटेड बाय सिंपल डिस्टिलेशन And second statement है, when separating aniline from mixture of aniline and water by steam distillation, aniline boils below its boiling point. तो पहले फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट पे आते हैं. क्लोरोफॉर्म और एनिलीन को हम लोग सिंपल डिस्टिलेशन से सेपरेट कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि क्लोरोफॉर्म और एनिलीन के जो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट है इनमें काफी बड़ा डिफरेंस होता है. तो वन ऑफ द कंडीशन फॉर सिंपल डिस्टिलेशन इज देयर शुड बी अ लार्ज डिफरेंस इन द बॉइलिंग पॉइंट, ताकि लो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट पे एक लिक्विड का बॉइलिंग हो जाए और उसको हम वेपर्स को कंडेंस करके कन्वर्ट कर लें लिक्विड में, है ना. तो दिस कैन बी डन बिकॉज ऑफ लार्ज बॉइलिंग पॉइंट डिफरेंस बिटवीन क्लोरोफॉर्म एंड एनिलीन. When separating aniline from a mixture of aniline and water, actually aniline and water दोनों immiscible liquids हैं, और immiscible liquids में P total होता है Pa0 plus Pb0. दैट मीन्स मिक्सचर का जो टोटल वेपर प्रेशर होगा वो दोनों इंडिविजुअल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट के सम के बराबर होगा. और आपको पता है कि अगर वेपर प्रेशर ज्यादा हो जाए तो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम हो जाता है, राइट. Because boiling point is the temperature at which vapor pressure of the mixture becomes equal to external pressure. तो अगर वेपर प्रेशर ज्यादा होगा तो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कम होगा. तो कम बॉइलिंग पॉइंट होने से इजीली सेपरेट करना पॉसिबल है, राइट. और क्योंकि एनिलीन एंड वाटर एक दूसरे में मिसिबल नहीं होते हैं, इसलिए हम लोग इसका कंसेप्ट लगा सकते हैं. एंड साथ में इन्होंने बोला है जो जस्टिफाई करना है, बॉइल्स बिलो इट्स बॉइलिंग पॉइंट. दिस इज व्हाट आई वाज एक्चुअली टेलिंग यू कि अगर आप दो इमिसिबल लिक्विड्स को लेते हो तो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट ऑफ द मिक्सचर विल बी बिलो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट ऑफ इंडिविजुअल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट लिक्विड्स, राइट. तो आपका स्टेटमेंट 1 एंड स्टेटमेंट 2 दोनों करेक्ट हो गया. ऑप्शन ए इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर. ओके. In this question, we need to identify the correct structure of alpha enomer of maltose. All right, अल्फा एनोमर ऑफ माल्टोज. देखिए जो माल्टोज का अल्फा एनोमर होता है वो एक्चुअली डाइसैकेराइड होता है अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज का. और अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज का जो स्ट्रक्चर है बेसिकली, अगर हावर्थ प्रोजेक्शन फार्मूला में हम देखते हैं तो एच ओ एच, यहाँ भी ओ एच नीचे, यहाँ एच एंड देन ओ एच, देन एच, और ऊपर की तरफ CH2OH होता है और यहाँ पे H होता है और यहाँ पे ग्लाइकोसाइडिक लिंकेज इस वाले कार्बन से लगा होता है. यानी दूसरा जो यूनिट होगा ना वो यहाँ से निकलेगा, इसका OH जाएगा और अगले वाले का H निकलेगा, राइट. तो जो दूसरी यूनिट होगी उसके अंदर जो ऑक्सीजन होगा ना, जो उसका ऑक्सीजन से लगा हुआ जो H होगा, ये दोनों निकल के वाटर निकल के आपका कंपाउंड बन जाएगा बेसिकली अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज का जो डाइमर है, यानी कि जो डाइसैकेराइड है वो फॉर्म हो जाएगा. ऑलराइट. तो बिल्कुल यही वाली यूनिट रिपीट होनी चाहिए. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में ये जो कार्बन है, इस कार्बन का OH, और राइट हैंड साइड वाले रिंग में, यानी ये इसका अगर 4 ले लोगे, इसका 1 कार्बन होगा, इसका 4 कार्बन होगा, तो 1,4 ग्लाइकोसाइडिक लिंकेज यहाँ पे फॉर्म हो जाएगा. यही सेम स्ट्रक्चर रिपीट हो जाएगा. मतलब यहाँ पे H हुआ, यहाँ OH हुआ, यहाँ नीचे की तरफ OH हो गया, यहाँ पे नीचे की तरफ H हो गया, यहाँ पे OH हो गया, यहाँ पे भी OH आ जाएगा, और यहाँ पे आपका CH2OH आ गया, और यहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन हो गया. ऑलराइट. सो दिस वे अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज का यूनिट हमने बनाया, उसमें फर्स्ट लेफ्ट साइड वाली रिंग से OH निकाल दिया 1 कार्बन से, एंड राइट हैंड साइड वाले रिंग से हमने H निकाल दिया 4th कार्बन पे. जैसे ये 1 कार्बन है, ये 4th कार्बन है, तो इससे जो हमें लिंकेज मिलेगा वो आपका होगा अल्फा एनोमर ऑफ माल्टोज. तो लुकिंग एट द ऑप्शंस A B C D, विल फाइंड द सेम ऑप्शन, और करेक्ट ऑप्शन B has the correct structure. All right. So alpha enomer of maltose has the structure mentioned in option B. Therefore, option B is going to be the correct option. Okay. This is basically assertion region question. We need to read the assertion and region for the given 3 compounds, and we have to justify which one is correct and whether region is a correct explanation for the assertion or not. All right. So they are actually alcohols. All 3 compounds are alcohols, and we need to compare their acidity. Chlorine is a minus inductive effect which will increase acidic strength. Fluorine is also stronger minus inductive effect which will increase the acidic strength. The point is fluorine is actually attached at 4th carbon away from the acidic group, so its impact will be very less even if it has a stronger minus I character, right? So A is stronger than B, that's true. And methyl is actually plus I, and plus I decreases acidic strength. Therefore the correct order of acidic strength has to be ABC. So assertion is a correct statement. Okay. Reason fluoro is stronger electron withdrawing group than chloro, that is true. In the light of above statement, choose the correct answer from the option. See, this statement is correct. But this is being stronger electronegative or stronger electron withdrawing, it is not going to play, it is not going to increase the acidity because it is available at fourth carbon. Therefore this cannot be the reason of more acidic character of A than B. All right, so both statements are correct, but reason is not a correct explanation of A. So C is going to be the right answer. All right. In this question, there are actually four statements written out there. We need to find out which statement is correct. NF3 molecule has a trigonal planar structure. Galat hai, because NF3 is a pyramidal. It's an sp3 hybridized molecule and one lone pair containing present at central atom. Therefore, it has a pyramid shape. So A is wrong. All right, A is not a correct statement. Okay. B, bond length of N2 is shorter than O2. That's correct. N2 contain actually triple bond and O2 contain double bond, and क्योंकि इनके साइज में बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है, they are adjacent group element in the same period, size is approximately same, so multiplicity bond की जितनी ज़्यादा होती है, number of bond जितने ज़्यादा होते हैं, bond उतना छोटा हो जाता है. तो this statement is correct. B is correct. All right. So all the statements are gone. Only A is going to be your correct option. But still, let's see. Isoelectronic molecules or ion have identical bond order. Correct है. अगर नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन सेम रहते हैं तो बॉन्ड ऑर्डर सेम आता है. स्पेशली इन द लाइट ऑफ डायटोमिक मॉलिक्यूल्स इट इज मोर क्लियर. Dipole moment of H2S is higher than that of water molecule. Dipole moment of H2O is higher because of more polarity in the bond, more electronegativity difference between OH bond. Therefore, this statement is not correct. All right, D is not correct. All right, so B and C are going to be the correct. That's it. We have already identified the correct option. This is a question of chemical kinetics for a multi-step reaction. The net reaction is as follows. P changing into product. It has got many steps actually. There are at least three steps given in the question. A1 दिया है, A2 दिया है, A3 दिया है. All three steps has got different activation energy and different rate constant of K1, K2 and K3. We need, and total rate constant is given by this formula. We need to calculate activation energy for overall reaction. All right. So we can write net overall K, overall rate constant, which is equal to K1, K2 upon K3 raised to the power 3 by 2. K can be written as A overall minus E upon RT, E overall upon RT. And I can put the values of EA1, EA2, EA3 for K1, K2, K3. So K1, in place of K1, I will be writing, let's say, if the first step has frequency factor A1, E raised to the power minus E1 upon RT into A2 e raised to the power minus E2 upon RT divided by A3 e raised to the power minus E3 upon RT. This can be written as A1 and this whole raised to the power 3 by 2. Okay. So A1, A2 upon A3 raised to the power 3 by 2, and in the other bracket you can have E minus 3 by 2 E1 plus E2 minus E3 upon RT. All right. Now, if you compare these terms, E upon RT can be written as this value. So from here, I can write E is equal to 3 by 2 E1 plus E2 plus E3. Okay. E1, E2, E3 are given in the question. 400 plus 180 minus 160 into 3 by 2. So this comes out to be 420 upon 2 into 3. So 210 into 3 comes out to be 630 kilojoule per mole. All right. So 630 kilojoule is the final answer of this question. So we have simply used the basic formula K is equal to A e raised to the power minus E upon RT or E upon RT. All right. From that formula, we can calculate the activation energy for overall reaction. Okay. All right. This is a question of quantum mechanical model. We need to find out the incorrect statement. Okay. Radial function is a part of wave function. That's fine. It is dependent on principal quantum number only. ये wrong statement है. Actually, radial part is dependent on the value of n and l, principal quantum number as well as azimuthal quantum number. So A statement is wrong. So you got the answer. If only one option is correct in such a question, you don't need to waste your time on BCD. But I have to explain. Angular function depends only on direction and independent to the distance of the nucleus. This is correct. एंगुलर पार्ट केवल डायरेक्शन पे डिपेंडेंट होता है, ये रेडियस पे डिपेंडेंट या डिस्टेंस पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं होता. ओके. साई स्क्वायर आर थीटा फाइव इज प्रोबेबिलिटी डेंसिटी, दैट्स करेक्ट, ऑफ फाइंडिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन इन अ पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट इन द स्पेस. यस. Radial distribution function 4 pi r square gives the probability of electron being present at a distance r from the nucleus. Yes. ये प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फंक्शन होता है, ये न्यूक्लियस से किसी पर्टिकुलर डिस्टेंस पे एक छोटी सी शेल में इलेक्ट्रॉन के पाए जाने की प्रोबेबिलिटी को इंडिकेट करता है. तो ये स्टेटमेंट भी करेक्ट है. तो ये आपके तीनों स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट हैं, ये रॉन्ग है, तो ये आपका आंसर हो गया. ओके. सो ऑप्शन ए इज द फाइनल आंसर. This is a question of chemical bonding where we need to identify the shape or geometry of the ions or molecule given in the list 1. Okay, like H3O plus. H3O plus is actually containing one lone pair. All right, and it is going to be sp3 hybridized. In sp3 hybridized molecule, we will be having only pyramidal shape, yeah, or we can say trigonal pyramidal. So A का जो मैच होगा वो 3 के साथ जाएगा. एसिटिलाइड आयन इज एक्चुअली लीनियर, इसको बोलते हैं, ये sp हाइब्रिडाइज्ड होता है एसिटिलीन से जिससे बनता है ये, राइट. तो दिस इज लीनियर, सो दिस इज एक्चुअली ऑलरेडी मैच्ड. तो A2 A3 एंड B2, A3 एंड B2 केवल एक ही ऑप्शन है, आपका आंसर आ गया है, आप आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. बट आई नीड टू एक्सप्लेन. NH3 प्लस टेट्राहेड्रल होगा, नाइट्रोजन इज sp3 हाइब्रिडाइज्ड विदाउट एनी लोन पेयर, टेट्राहेड्रल. ClO2 माइनस इज गोइंग टू बी अ bent structure, I guess. ClO2 minus. ClO2 minus is this. This has got two lone pairs, two bond pairs. So sp3 hybridized molecule. sp3 hybridized molecule में यदि central atom पे दो lone pair होता है तो it goes to bent structure. So this is going to be a bent structure. So B is going to be the perfect answer of this question. Okay. Henry Moseley studies characteristic X-ray spectra of element. The graph represent his correct ऑब्जर्वेशन इज. एक्चुअली मोजलेज एक्सपेरिमेंट में जो एग्जैक्ट इक्वेशन आता था वो होता है स्क्वायर रूट फ्रीक्वेंसी इज इक्वल टू ए कांस्टेंट जेड माइनस बी. ये एग्जैक्ट इक्वेशन आती थी मोजलेज एक्सपेरिमेंट की. तो अगर हम इसको स्क्वायर रूट न्यू को जेड के अगेंस्ट प्लॉट करें ना, तो एग्जैक्ट ग्राफ तो बेसिकली ये वाला आता है. देखो, अगर स्क्वायर रूट न्यू एंड जेड को प्लॉट करें तो ग्राफ गोज लाइक दिस. देयर इज सम इंटरसेप्ट ऑन वाई एक्सिस और न्यू एक्सिस, स्क्वायर रूट न्यू एक्सिस, बट ऐसा कोई ग्राफ इसके अंदर है नहीं. तो जो क्लोजेस्ट ग्राफ है वो आपका बी हो गया. बाकी तो होगा नहीं. स्क्वायर रूट जेड और न्यू का ये रिलेशनशिप होता नहीं है, न्यू और जेड का रिलेशनशिप होता नहीं है. ऐसे न्यू स्क्वायर वी स्क्वायर और जेड का भी ये रिलेशनशिप, वाई इक्वल एक्स का कोई रिलेशनशिप होता ही नहीं है. तो ये ग्राफ एक्चुअली करेक्टली ऐसे बनता है. तो बेस्ट ऑप्शन इज गोइंग टू बी बी ओनली. ऑलराइट. In this question, we have to find out the most stable conformational isomer of the compound. All right, most stable conformer. We know if the two groups are actually such that they can interact via hydrogen bonding, then Gauge form is going to be the most stable form. इसका ये हाइड्रोजन और फ्लोरीन के बीच में हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग हो जाएगी, विच विल मेक द गॉज फॉर्म मोस्ट स्टेबल. गॉज फॉर्म में ही हो सकती है, राइट. अब सवाल ये है कि इस टाइप के एक से ज्यादा ऑप्शन है, नहीं है. देखो, ये तो वैसे ही कट गया, इसमें हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग हो नहीं सकती, केवल फ्लोरीन और एच के बीच में हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग हो सकती है. सो मोस्ट स्टेबल इज गोइंग टू बी बी. ओके. In this question, we need to find out the correct statement from the given four statements. First one is pH3 reduces AgNO3 to metallic Ag. This is a correct statement. Whenever AgNO3 actually react with phosphine, सिल्वर जो होता है वो reduce होकर के सिल्वर प्लस से सिल्वर में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, साथ में H3PO3 and HNO3 बन जाता है. ऑलराइट. सो दिस इज द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. ऑर्गेनिक टिश्यूज टर्न सिल्वर नाइट्रेट ब्लैक, ये करेक्ट है। आप लोगों ने सुना होगा कि सिल्वर नाइट्रेट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड लूनर कॉस्टिक, क्योंकि स्किन पे गिर जाता है तो वहाँ ब्लैक स्टेन क्रिएट करता है। बट प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि यहाँ ऑक्सीडाइजिंग लिखा हुआ है, जबकि सिल्वर आयन रिड्यूस होकर के सिल्वर में कन्वर्ट होगा, राइट। इसलिए स्टेटमेंट रॉन्ग हो गया। एजीसीएल इज, नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज एजीसीएन इनसॉल्युबल इन केसीएन, ये भी गलत है। साइनो कॉम्प्लेक्स बन जाने से सॉल्युबिलिटी बढ़ जाती है, तो एजीसीएन व्हेन एडेड टू केसीएन देन सॉल्युबिलिटी इंक्रीजेस। यूजुअली कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्मेशन हमेशा सॉल्युबिलिटी को बढ़ाता है। Decomposition reaction of AgBr is used in photography and manufacturing of cement, ये आधा पोर्शन तो इसका करेक्ट है। सिल्वर ब्रोमाइड पुराने जमाने की जो ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट फोटोग्राफी होती थी उसके अंदर AgBr को स्प्लिट कर देता था, राइट। लेकिन सीमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में सिल्वर नाइट्रेट, सिल्वर ब्रोमाइड का कोई यूज नहीं होता है, इसलिए गलत हो गया। सो करेक्ट आंसर इज ए। ओके, in this question we need to find out the correct statement regarding trimetric analysis of strength of NaOH. okay, एनीवेज जो होता है एक प्रकार का सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड सॉल्यूशन है, मतलब इसकी नॉर्मलिटी कांस्टेंट नहीं रहती है, हाइग्रोस्कोपिक होता है, मॉइस्चर एब्जॉर्ब कर लेता है, CO2 एब्जॉर्ब कर लेता है एटमॉस्फेयर से। तो इसका अगर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बना के कुछ भी फिक्स करके लैब में रख देंगे तो नेक्स्ट डे चेंज हो जाता है। तो ये सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड सॉल्यूशन है। अब इसको हर एक टाइट्रेशन मेथड में पहले स्टैंडर्डाइज करना पड़ता है, उसके लिए मुझे प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड सॉल्यूशन यूज करना पड़ेगा। H2SO4 भी हाइग्रोस्कोपिक होता है, सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड है, इसलिए ये नहीं हो सकता। अगेन वही बात है, नहीं हो सकता। टाइट्रेटिंग अननोन वॉल्यूम ऑफ NaOH एंड अब KHC8H4O4 पोटेशियम हाइड्रोजन थाइलेट, ये प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड होता है। यानी आपको एक लिस्ट ऑफ प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड सॉल्यूशंस पता होनी चाहिए। ऑलराइट, तो इसकी हेल्प से इसको हम टाइट्रेट कर सकते हैं, तो C इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। Titrating a known volume of NaOH with a solution of this of known concentration but unknown volume, ये गलती होगी, बाकी तो ठीक है। स्टेटमेंट भाई, जो स्टैंडर्ड सॉल्यूशन होता है जिसको आपको ब्यूरेट में लेना होता है उसकी नॉर्मलिटी वॉल्यूम दोनों पता होना चाहिए, राइट। जो आप कॉनिकल फ्लास्क में लेते हो टाइट्रेट करने के लिए, स्टैंडर्डाइज करने के लिए, उसका नॉर्मलिटी पता नहीं होता है, वॉल्यूम तो उसका भी पता होना चाहिए। तो इसलिए खाली ये स्टेटमेंट इसलिए गलत हो गया क्योंकि अननोन वॉल्यूम दिया हुआ था। ऑलराइट, अगर मान लो इस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन में आपको ये पोटेशियम हाइड्रोजन थाइलेट के बारे में नहीं पता होता, तब भी यही आंसर होता, क्योंकि ये दोनों तो हो नहीं सकते। आपको H2SO इज वेल नोन हाइग्रोस्कोपिक कंपाउंड, हाइग्रोस्कोपिक होने के वजह से ये प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड तो नहीं बनेगा, ठीक है। तो 1 एंड 2 तो वैसे ही कट गया, एंड फोर्थ इसलिए कट गया बिकॉज अननोन वॉल्यूम दिया हुआ है। सो ओनली C इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट आंसर। दिस वे यू कैन रीच टू द करेक्ट ऑप्शन आल्सो। In this question, we have to find out which carboxylic acid in presence of dehydrating agent is least reactive to give anhydride। कौन सा एनहाइड्राइड नहीं बनाएगा? देखो ये एनहाइड्राइड बनाएगा, ऑर्थो पोजीशन पे लगा हुआ है, ये भी एडजेसेंट पोजीशन पे लगा है, बनाएगा। और इसमें भी रिंग साइज है 1 2 3 4, और एक जब आप इसका वाटर निकाल के एनहाइड्राइड बनाओगे तो एक ऑक्सीजन आ जाएगा, 5 मेंबर रिंग बनेगी। ये केस ऐसा है, दिस इज एडीपी एसिड एक्चुअली। एडिपिक एसिड एनहाइड्राइड नहीं बनाता है, रादर आप इसको हीट करते हो ना तो ये साइक्लिक कीटोन्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं। ये एक्चुअली बना लेता है साइक्लो पेंटेनोन। तो दिस इज द ओनली आंसर जो एनहाइड्राइड नहीं बनाएगा। इट इज लीस्ट रिएक्टिव टू गिवन एनहाइड्राइड। एनहाइड बनाने की टेंडेंसी सबसे कम होगी, बिकॉज वैसे भी इसमें 7 मेंबर रिंग बन रही है विच इज मोर अनस्टेबल एक्चुअली। तो जब भी आप इस तरह से 7 मेंबर बनाओ या 8 मेंबर बनाओ, तो उस केस में रादर देन एनहाइड्राइड वी आर गोइंग टू बी we will be forming ketone, actually cyclic ketone of appropriate size. In iodometric estimation the following reaction occur। आइडोमेट्रिक टाइट्रेशन का क्वेश्चन है, एंड कॉपर सल्फेट के मोल दिए हुए हैं और इसको एक्सेस के आई से ट्रीट किया है, इससे आयोडीन बनाया है, आयोडीन को सोडियम थायोसल्फेट से ट्रीट किया है। आपको सोडियम थायोसल्फेट का मोलैरिटी निकालना है, राइट, मोलैरिटी ऑफ हाइपो सॉल्यूशन। ओके, तो कॉपर आयन से बना आयोडीन के आई के रिएक्शन से, और यही आयोडीन सोडियम थायोसल्फेट यानी हाइपो से रिएक्ट करके अगेन रिड्यूस होकर के आई माइनस में चला गया। तो मैं डायरेक्टली लिख सकता हूं यहाँ पे इक्विवेलेंस ऑफ कॉपर सल्फेट मस्ट बी इक्वल टू इक्विवेलेंस ऑफ I2 formed and must be equal to equivalents of hypo, क्योंकि कॉपर प्लस 2 कॉपर प्लस 1 में जा रहा है इसलिए इसका इनफैक्टर 1 होगा, इसलिए इसके मोल और इक्विवेलेंट बराबर होंगे। मस्ट बी इक्वल टू इक्विवेलेंट ऑफ हाइपो 60 ml दिया हुआ है, इसकी मोलैरिटी निकालनी है अपॉन 1000। ऑलराइट, तो m हो गया आपका 0.12 into 1000 divided by 60, this comes out to be 2. So molarity of sodium thiosulfate or hypo solution used is 2. Option A is going to be the correct option of this question. All right. The following two compounds 1 and 2 can be distinguished by using which reagent? आपको यहाँ पे 5 रिएजेंट दिए हुए हैं और 1 और 2 को डिस्टिंग्विश करने का अप्रोप्रिएट रिएजेंट बताना है। ओके, पहला है आपका सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट। आपको पता है सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड का एफिलिएशन टेस्ट के लिए यूज किया जाता है, तो ये दोनों का टेस्ट देगा, तो ये नहीं हो सकता। न्यूट्रल फेरिक क्लोराइड एक्चुअली होता है फिनोलिक टेस्ट, ये फिनोलिक है ये नहीं है, राइट। तो सेकेंड वाला टेस्ट ये देगा ये नहीं देगा, इसका मतलब डिस्टिंग्विश करने के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं। तो एक आंसर तो हो गया 2। ओके, अब 2 होते ही आपको आंसर मिल गया, आपको ज्यादा मेहनत नहीं करनी है एग्जाम में अगर इस तरह के क्वेश्चन आते हैं, बट फिर भी मैं एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ। ब्लू लिटमस, ब्लू लिटमस दोनों देंगे क्योंकि दोनों में कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड है, ब्लू लिटमस को रेड दोनों करेंगे। एंड HCl जिंक क्लोराइड, HCl जिंक क्लोराइड बेसिकली ल्यूकॉस रिएजेंट है, ये सेकेंडरी अल्कोहल से रिएक्ट करेगा और ये अल्कोहलिक ग्रुप इसमें कंटेन, ये कंपाउंड कंटेन ही नहीं करता। दैट मींस दिस टेस्ट इज गिवन बाय फर्स्ट कंपाउंड ओनली, सेकंड कंपाउंड नहीं देगा, इसका मतलब इसको भी आप डिफरेंशिएट करने के लिए यूज कर सकते हो। तो योर करेक्ट आंसर इज 2 और 5। ओके, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग कन्फर्मेशन ऑफ 2,3 डाइब्रोमोब्यूटेन। यहाँ पे 2,3 डाइब्रोमोब्यूटेन की डिफरेंट कन्फर्मेशंस बने हैं, इनमें रिलेशनशिप निकालना है या ये एब्सोल्यूट सेंस में कौन सी फॉर्म है ये बताना है। तो अगर मैं इसको प्रॉपर फॉर्म में लिख दूं, लाइक अगर बेटर होगा आप इसका अगर फिशर प्रोजेक्शन फॉर्मूला लगा लें या निकाल लें तो वो भी एक तरीका होता है, बट उसके अलावा भी फिशर जैसे जब आप बनाते हो ना आप, तो वाई टाइप का एक आप न्यूमैन या सॉहर्स बनाते हो, तो मैं यहीं पे वाई टाइप का न्यूमैन या सॉहर्स बना के ना इसी से आइडिया लग जाएगा कि कौन सा मीजो है, कौन सा रेसमिक है या कौन सा ऑप्टिकली एक्टिव। जैसे इसको मैंने इस फॉर्मेट में लिया, तो मैं बॉटम में CH3 लेना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि ऐसा करने से हमें थोड़ा फिशर बनाने में या फिशर सोचने में आसानी रहेगी। अगर मैंने बॉटम में CH3 लिया तो यहाँ पे आ गया Br और यहाँ पे H, थोड़ा रोटेट कर दिया। ऐसे ही यहाँ पे CH3 अगर आप लेते हो तो CH3 के बाद आपका H आ जाएगा और यहाँ पे Br आ जाएगा। तो यहाँ से बहुत क्लियरली अगर फिशर इमेजिन करके देखोगे, इसमें प्लेन ऑफ सिमेट्री नहीं है, ये ऑप्टिकली एक्टिव है। ऐसे इसका भी बना लो, तो मीजो तो नहीं हुआ, मतलब पहला वाला कंपाउंड मीजो नहीं हुआ। ऐसे इसका भी बना लो, अगर मैं यहाँ CH3 लिखता हूँ तो यहाँ पे H आ जाएगा, यहाँ पे Br आ जाएगा, और अगर यहाँ पे CH3 लिखता हूँ तो यहाँ पे Br आ जाएगा और यहाँ पे H आएगा। अब आप क्लियरली देखो, ये दोनों कंपाउंड ना एक दूसरे के मिरर इमेज समझ आते हैं, ये मिरर इमेज है एक दूसरे के। अगर आपको फिशर में लेके जाके देखोगे ना, तो यहाँ पे Br की लोकेशन, यहाँ पे Br, यहाँ पे आपका, जस्ट मिनट, यहाँ पे Br की लोकेशन कुछ इस तरह से है, इस तरह से, एक Br यहाँ पे, एक Br यहाँ पे नीचे की तरफ, और यहाँ पे उल्टा है, उसका इमेज की तरह है, राइट। तो ये दोनों एक दूसरे के मिरर इमेज हो गए। अगर यही काम इसमें करते हैं, लाइक CH3 यहाँ कर दिया, यहाँ पे Br आ गया, यहाँ पे H आ गया, और नीचे वाला भी CH3 अगर यहाँ कर दिया तो यहाँ पे Br आ गया और यहाँ पे H आ गया, यू कैन चेक यहाँ पे एलिमेंट ऑफ सिमेट्री एग्जिस्ट करेगी, तो ये मीजो फॉर्म हो गया। तो थर्ड मीजो है एंड फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड एक दूसरे के इमेज हैं, तो रेसमिक मिक्सचर हो गया। तो थर्ड इज मीजो एंड 1 and 2 आर enantiomeric pair, your C option is going to be the correct option. All right. इन दिस क्वेश्चन 4 बेसिस दिए हुए हैं, इनका बेसिक स्ट्रेंथ का ऑर्डर निकालना है, राइट। तो जैसे फोर्थ कंपाउंड आप देखिए, फोर्थ कंपाउंड में अगर आप H+ डालते हो ना, तो ये नाइट्रोजन जो कि सबसे बेसिक है, ये प्रोटॉन ले करके NH2+ में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा और उसके 3 इक्विवेलेंट रेजोनेटिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स बन सकते हैं। दैट मींस दिस कंपाउंड हैज मैक्सिमम टेंडेंसी टू एक्सेप्ट प्रोटॉन। तो फोर्थ सबसे ज्यादा बेसिक हो गया। इसके बाद इसके अंदर देखो 2 बन जाएंगे, अगर ये प्रोटॉन इसको दे दो तो 2 इक्विवेलेंट रेजोनेटिंग यहाँ से और यहाँ से बन जाएंगे। तो सबसे ज्यादा फोर्थ हुआ, फोर्थ के बाद 1 हुआ, फोर्थ के बाद 1 का केवल एक ही ऑप्शन है मेरे पास, तो आंसर तो मिल गया मुझे। अब सेकेंड और थर्ड में यदि आप कंपैरिजन करोगे ना, तो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड, यहाँ पे एक कार्बन ऐसा है, नाइट्रोजन ऐसा है जहां पे लोन पेयर एक्चुअली अवेलेबल है, और यहाँ पे भी लोन पेयर अवेलेबल है, बट पॉइंट ये है कि इसके अंदर ना नाइट्रोजन में दोनों तरफ से माइनस इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट ग्रुप लग रहे हैं जो इसकी बेसिसिटी को कम कर देंगे, तो थर्ड इज गोइंग टू बी लीस्ट बेसिक। यहाँ पे ये कार्बन sp2 है एक्चुअली और ये sp3 है, तो इसका sp3 होने से इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन रिलीजिंग कैरेक्टर होगा और जो बेसिसिटी को बढ़ाता है। ओके, तो ये दोनों कार्बन एक्चुअली sp3 है, तो इसलिए सेकंड जो है वो ज्यादा बेसिक होगा और थर्ड कम बेसिक होगा, तो आपका आंसर बिल्कुल मैच हो गया। ऑलराइट, in this question, CO2 is actually formed from calcium carbonate reacting with NaOH, and question में बोला है कि 0.5 नॉर्मल HCl कितना वॉल्यूम लगेगा अगर फिनोप्सिल इंडिकेटर लेते हैं। कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट इज 90% प्योर। ओके, सो प्योर वेट ऑफ कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट कितना हो गया, 1 इंटू 0.9, 0.9 ग्राम। ओके, तो मोल ऑफ कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट 0.9 डिवाइडेड बाई 100, दैट इज 9 इंटू 10⁻⁻3। कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट जब हीट करेंगे, आई मीन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का रिएक्शन जब NaOH से कराओगे तो कुछ ऐसी रिएक्शन होगी, इट विल फॉर्म Na2CO3 प्लस H2O, राइट। CO2 के हैं 9 इंटू 10⁻⁻3 मोल एंड NaOH इज गिवन एज 100 इंटू 0.5, तो 0.1 इंटू 0.5 इंटू 10⁻⁻, नथिंग एक्चुअली, क्योंकि मैंने कन्वर्ट कर लिया लीटर में तो इसकी जरूरत नहीं है, बट इसको मैं थोड़ा सिमिलर फॉर्मेट में कन्वर्ट कर लेता हूँ, 50 इंटू 10⁻3। ओके, क्लियरली CO2 इज गोइंग टू बी लिमिटिंग रिएजेंट, पूरा कंज्यूम हो जाएगा यहाँ पे, तो ये बचेगा 50 इंटू 10⁻3 माइनस जितना CO2 जाएगा उसका ट्वाइस NaOH जाएगा, 2 इंटू 10⁻2 इंटू 10⁻3 इंटू 9, तो ये 18, 50 माइनस 18 इज 32 इंटू 10⁻3, दिस मच NaOH इज लेफ्ट एंड Na2CO3 कितना बन जाएगा, जितना CO2 रिएक्ट करेगा, दैट इज 9 इंटू 10⁻5। नाउ फाइनल मिक्सचर कंटेन NaOH एंड Na2CO3, इसका मोल दिया है 32 इंटू 10⁻3, इसका है 9 इंटू 10⁻3, और फिनोप्थेलिन की प्रेजेंस में हमको पता है केवल वन स्टेप न्यूट्रलाइजेशन होता है, ये NaHCO3 में जाता है, NaOH कंप्लीटली न्यूट्रलाइज हो जाएगा और Na2CO3 वन स्टेप न्यूट्रलाइज होगा, तो इसका n फैक्टर यहाँ मैं 1 लूंगा, तो अब मैं लिख सकता हूँ कि इक्विवेलेंस ऑफ HCl used is equal to equivalence of NaOH plus equivalence of Na2CO3 with respect to n factor 1। NaHCl का वॉल्यूम V मान लेता हूं मैं, नॉर्मलिटी 0.5 दी हुई है, मस्ट बी इक्वल टू NaOH का इक्विवेलेंट मोल सेम रहेगा 32 इंटू 10⁻3, Na2CO3 का भी इक्विवेलेंट मोल सेम रहेगा, यहां से अगर आप वॉल्यूम कैलकुलेट करके निकालोगे ना तो दिस कम्स आउट टू बी 82 ml। ऑलराइट, so 82 ml, that means option C is going to be the correct option। so beautiful question, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, जी मेन या नीट के अनुसार उसके स्टैंडर्ड की बात करें तो इट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन। ऑलराइट, in this question we have to compare order of heat of hydrogenation in the given compound। ठीक है, आपको पता है कि जो heat of hydrogenation होता है, मैं मैग्नीट्यूड की बात कर रहा हूँ, heat of hydrogenation, magnitude of heat of hydrogenation is inversely proportional to stability of alkene। जितना ज्यादा स्टेबल एल्कीन होगा उतना कम हीट निकलेगा। ओके, तो अगर मैं स्टेबिलिटी के बारे में सोचूं तो सबसे ज्यादा स्टेबल है थर्ड। क्या रीजन है, एक तो कॉन्जुगेटेड डाइईन है, ऑलराइट, और दूसरे ये तीन मिथाइल के 3 अल्फा हाइड्रोजन और ये मिथाइलिन के 2 यहाँ से 2 यहाँ से, टोटल 3 3 6 4 10, देयर आर 10 अल्फा हाइड्रोजन्स फॉर हाइपर कॉन्जुगेशन व्हिच इज द एडिशनल स्टेबिलिटी फैक्टर। तो थर्ड इज गोइंग टू बी द मोस्ट स्टेबल, देयरफॉर थर्ड इज गोइंग टू हैव लीस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ हीट ऑफ हाइड्रोजनेशन, इसलिए आपका आंसर तो आ गया। अब अगर एग्जाम में आता है तो स्ट्रेट अवे आप चले जाइए, बट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि बाकी का ऑर्डर क्या होना चाहिए। मोस्ट अनस्टेबल होगा, देखो ये है कॉन्जुगेटेड, तो सेकंड लास्ट तो यही स्टेबिलिटी की बात करें, हीट ऑफ हाइड्रोजनेशन की बात करें तो सेकंड लास्ट तो ये होगा, क्योंकि ये भी कॉन्जुगेटेड डाइन है, ये भी कॉन्जुगेटेड डाइन है, ये दोनों आइसोलेटेड डाइन है, तो थर्ड सबसे कम हीट ऑफ हाइड्रोजनेशन, उसके बाद सेकंड लास्ट पोजीशन पे फोर्थ आ जाएगा। अब मैं फर्स्ट और सेकंड की बात करूं तो फर्स्ट में CH3 यहाँ पे है एंड CH2 यहाँ पे है, टोटल 3 और 2 5 हाइपर कॉन्जुगेटिव स्ट्रक्चर बनेंगे। यहाँ पे देखिए CH3 का 3 हाइड्रोजन, CH2 का 2, CH2 का 2, तो टोटल 3 और 2 5 और 2 7 हाइपर कॉन्जुगेटिव स्ट्रक्चर्स। सो सेकंड इज मोर स्टेबल एल्कीन एज कंपेयर टू फर्स्ट। इसलिए फर्स्ट हैज गॉट हाईएस्ट हीट ऑफ हाइड्रोजनेशन फॉलोड बाय सेकंड. सो डी इज गोइंग टू बी द जस्टिफाइड करेक्ट आंसर. ओके. In this question we have to find out true and false statement, and we have to arrange them in the sequence of being false or true. Arrange the following statement in the order of true and false. Okay. IUPAC name of this compound is this. Okay. Pentamine. Pentamine thiocyanate and chromate. यहाँ गलती हो गई because this one is a cationic complex. पहले cationic complex होता है, फिर anionic complex होता है, और cationic complex के अंदर central metal has to be written with सफिक्स IUM. सो क्रोमेट की जगह क्रोमियम होना चाहिए था यहाँ पे, तो इसलिए ये IUPAC नाम गलत है. तो पहला फॉल्स हो गया, और पहला फॉल्स है. ऑलराइट, पहला फॉल्स में दो ऑप्शन तो हट गए. ठीक है. COSO4 इज पैरामैग्नेटिक एंड कलर्ड. ये मुझे ट्रू लग रहा है, क्योंकि कोबाल्ट D7 होता है, और D7 में एंटी इलेक्ट्रॉन तो होगा ही होगा, तो पैरामैग्नेटिक भी होगा और कलर्ड भी हो जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ एक्वस सॉल्यूशन बीइंग हैविंग DD ट्रांजिशन. तो फॉल्स हो गया, देन ट्रू हो गया. ओके. अगला कंपाउंड दिस शो आयनाइजेशन लिंकेज ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमेरिज्म. देखो NO2 है और बाहर NO3 है, दे कैन इंटरचेंज देमसेल्फ, इसलिए आयनाइजेशन आइसोमर होगा. लिंकेज इसलिए होगा क्योंकि NO2 एक एम्बिडेंटेड लिगेंड होता है, जहां पे नाइट्रोजन भी डोनर हो सकता है और ऑक्सीजन भी डोनर हो सकता है. राइट. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे आपका दोनों पॉसिबिलिटी है, लिंकेज की भी आयनाइजेशन की भी. नाइट्रोजन डोनर भी हो सकता है और ऑक्सीजन डोनर भी हो सकता है. ओके. ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमेरिज्म, ये जो कंपाउंड है ये MA4B2 टाइप का कंपाउंड है, तो इसमें पक्का ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमेरिज्म एग्जिस्ट करेगी. A4B2 है ना, A4B2. यस. एटलीस्ट एक चीज तो बहुत क्लियरली हमको दिख रही है कि बीबी ट्रांस एंड बीबी सिस हो सकता है. और इनफैक्ट अगर आप केवल इसी कॉम्प्लेक्स की बात करो तो M4B2 में जाकर के ये बीबी ट्रांस और बीबी सिस टाइप का ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमर बनाएगा. अगर इसके लिंकेज आयनाइजेशन आइसोमर कंसीडर करोगे तो उसके अंदर इससे भी ज्यादा ज्योमेट्रिकल आइसोमेरिज्म हो सकती है, अगर हमें अलग अलग कंपाउंड को देखना हो तो. ऑलराइट. तो ज्योमेट्रिकल भी एग्जिस्ट करेगा, इसलिए स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है. ओके. तो फॉल्स हो गया, ट्रू हो गया, ट्रू हो गया. आंसर तो आपका आ गया FTT. लास्ट वाला देख लो. कार्बन ऑक्सीजन बॉन्ड लेंथ इन द कॉम्प्लेक्स दिस इज सेम फाउंड इन कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड. गलत. एक्चुअली कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड में ट्रिपल बॉन्ड होता है, और जब भी आयरन के साथ किसी भी मेटल के साथ बैक बॉन्डिंग करता है ये, और जब भी बैक बॉन्डिंग करता है तो इसका बॉन्ड ऑर्डर 3 से 2 हो जाता है. ऑलराइट. और बॉन्ड ऑर्डर अगर 3 से 2 हो जाएगा, यानी कि बॉन्ड ऑर्डर कम हो गया, तो बॉन्ड लेंथ बढ़ जाती, तो सेम होना गलत हो गया, इसलिए फॉल्स हो गया लास्ट वाला स्टेटमेंट. सो योर करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज FTTF, दैट इज C. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग सीक्वेंस ऑफ रिएक्शन. ए कंपाउंड है, इसका मिथाइल मैग्नीशियम ब्रोमाइड से रिएक्शन करके बी बनाया है. बी का कॉपर एट 573 से रिएक्शन करा के 2 मिथाइल 2 ब्यूटीन बनाया है. 2 मिथाइल 2 ब्यूटीन इज दिस. एक्चुअली दिस इज एन एल्कीन, और कॉपर ऑन हीटिंग फॉर्म एल्कीन, दैट मींस B हैज टू बी टर्शरी अल्कोहल. यूजुअली प्राइमरी अल्कोहल से एल्डिहाइड बनता है, सेकेंडरी से कीटोन बनता है. इट्स अ डीहाइड्रोजनेशन रिएक्शन यूजुअली इन केस ऑफ प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी अल्कोहल्स, बट टर्शरी भी डिहाइड्रेशन हो जाता है. दैट मींस ये जो B कंपाउंड है ये आपका टर्शरी अल्कोहल होना चाहिए, और टर्शरी अल्कोहल ये होगा जिसके डिहाइड्रेशन से आपको ये डिजायर्ड प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा. और अगर आपका कंपाउंड भी ये हुआ जो कि एक एल्कोहल है और ये ग्रेनाट एजेंट की रिएक्शन से बना है, सेकेंडरी टर्शरी अल्कोहल है, तो जो आपका ए कंपाउंड है उसका स्ट्रक्चर कुछ ऐसा होना चाहिए. एक मिथाइल तो ग्रेनाट एजेंट से आएगा. अब ये एक्चुअली आपका कंपाउंड ए जो कि मुझे मिल गया, तो अब इसके अंदर कार्बन की परसेंटेज निकालनी है. इजी. अगर कंपाउंड आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया, इसका मॉलिक्यूलर वेट निकाल लीजिए, 72 आ जाएगा. 4 कार्बन है तो परसेंटेज ऑफ कार्बन इज गोइंग टू बी 12 into 4 डिवाइडेड बाई 72. तो इट विल बी 4/6, 2/3 into 100 और करना है, so 2/3 66.67%. All right, so we are going to get the answer 66.67%. Okay. द स्टेप वाइज फॉर्मेशन कांस्टेंट गिवन है क्वेश्चन में, K1 K2 K3 K4, और हमें बताना है स्टेबिलिटी कांस्टेंट का वैल्यू दिया हुआ है. ओवरऑल इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट फॉर डिसोसिएशन ऑफ दिस रिएक्शन. तो एक काम करते हैं, जो इसका फाइनल कॉम्प्लेक्स हमें बनेगा Cu2 प्लस प्लस 4 अमोनिया चेंजिंग इनटू CuNH3 होल 4 2 प्लस, ये कॉम्प्लेक्स का अगर मैं फॉर्मेशन कांस्टेंट निकालूं तो आएगा K1 K2 K3 K4, राइट। ओवरऑल फॉर्मेशन कांस्टेंट में जब आप रिएक्शन को ऐड करोगे तो ये रिएक्शन आएगी, और जब भी हम दो या दो से अधिक रिएक्शंस को ऐड करते हैं तो उनके इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट मल्टीप्लाई हो जाते हैं। लेकिन मुझे ना इसके बैकवर्ड रिएक्शन का के निकालना है, तो के डिसोसिएशन निकालना है एक्चुअली, तो के डिसोसिएशन इज इक्वल टू 1 अपॉन के फॉर्मेशन, ये ओवरऑल के फॉर्मेशन हो गया। तो 1 अपॉन K1 K2 K3 K4 सारी वैल्यू उठा के डाल दो आप। K1 है 10^4, 1.56 इंटू 58 इंटू 10^3 इंटू 5 इंटू 10^2 इंटू 10^2, सारी वैल्यूज आपको पता है। यहां से आप जब निकालोगे तो ये आएगा 1.26 इंटू 10^-12, यानी कि आपका जो एग्जैक्ट आंसर होगा वो 1.26, क्योंकि आपको ये x बताना है, और अगर नियरेस्ट इंटीजर में राउंड ऑफ करना है तो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी 1.26 को राउंड ऑफ कर दिया। ओके, तो सिंपल स्टेबिलिटी कांस्टेंट ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन कंपाउंड्स का बेसिस पे ये क्वेश्चन दिया गया है। ओके, the reaction of cyanamide with oxygen will run in a bomb calorimeter, डेल्टा यू इस क्वेश्चन के अंदर दिया है -742.14 किलो जूल पर मोल। आपको बताना है द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ डेल्टा एच एट 298। ओके, डेल्टा यू दिया है, डेल्टा एच निकालना है, तो सबसे पहले डेल्टा एन निकाल लो। डेल्टा एन में आपको दो गैसियस मॉलिक्यूल -1.5 गैसियस मॉलिक्यूल, तो 2 - 1.5 इज गोइंग टू बी 0.5, और हमें पता है जो रिलेशन होता है डेल्टा एच और डेल्टा यू में वो ये होता है प्लस डेल्टा एन आर टी। तो डेल्टा यू मुझे पता है -742 पॉइंट हाउ मच 14, प्लस डेल्टा एन हो गया आपका 0.5, आर की वैल्यू 8.314 इंटू 10⁻³ कर दिया किलो जूल में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए, एंड टेम्परेचर 298 केल्विन दिया है। यहां से रफली 740.9 किलो जूल आता है। अब इसको नियरेस्ट इंटीजर में राउंड अप करोगे तो 741 हो जाएगा, तो नियरेस्ट इंटीजर आंसर हो गया इस क्वेश्चन का 741। तो बेसिक थ्योरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है जहां पे डेल्टा एच और डेल्टा यू के बीच में जो रिलेट करने वाला फॉर्मूला है उसकी हेल्प से हम इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। ओके, गुड क्वेश्चन। In this question, we need to identify number of acidic oxides and number of amphoteric oxide, and we have to give the answer as sum of these two. All right. So let's identify number of acidic and other oxides. Sulfur dioxide is acidic. Chlorine Cl2O7 is acidic. N2O5 acidic. So this is actually neutral. This is basic. This is amphoteric. This is basic, and this is amphoteric. So number of acidic oxide X is going to be 3, SO3, Cl2O7, N2O5, and amphoteric is Cr2O3 and GeO2. So 2, 3 plus 2, 5 is going to be the final answer of this question. So better if you make a list of all acidic, basic, neutral and amphoteric oxides, better रहेगा. All right. %80 of MgCl2 is dissociated in aqueous solution. The vapor pressure of 1 molar solution is to be calculated, and vapor pressure of water is already given. 80 mole% of MgCl2 means alpha degree of dissociation is 80.8, and I can calculate I is 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha in case of dissociation. 1 plus n का वैल्यू 3 होगा, 3 MgCl2 में 3 particles बनेंगे, -1 into 0.8, so 1.6 plus 2, 2.6, we got I का वैल्यू, and molality is given. I need to calculate the vapor pressure of solution. Okay, molality, if you remember, there's a relationship between molality and mole fraction. I can write this X solute upon X solvent into 1000 upon molecular weight of solvent, which is water, तो यहाँ पे 18 लिख सकते हैं. X solute upon X solvent can be written as small n upon capital N into 1000 divided by 18. Molality is given as 1, so small n upon capital N is equal to 18 upon 1000. So you got this value. This is needed to calculate relative lowering of vapor pressure. But I am using this formula, P0 minus P upon P is equal to small n upon capital N into I. though this is not relative lowering of vapor pressure, but that formula can be converted into this. जो आपका P नॉट माइनस P अपॉन P नॉट होता है ना, इट इज इक्वल टू आई इंटू स्मॉल एन अपॉन आई इंटू स्मॉल एन प्लस का, ये थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होता है यूज करने के लिए, तो सिंप्लीफाई कर दिया. P naught is given as 50 minus P upon P is equal to I, which is given as 2.6 into what? Small n upon capital is 18 upon 1000. From here, if you calculate, you will get P is equal to 47.66 roughly. If you round off in the nearest integer, it comes out to be 48. So 48 is going to be the final answer of this question. All right.
Hi everyone, I am Firoz Khan, Master Teacher of Mathematics here at Vedantu. So in this video, we are going to discuss the mathematics paper which was conducted very recently, right? So here is the question on your screen. The question is based on complex numbers. So you have two equations, mod of z minus 1, 3, mod of omega minus iota 4. And the maximum value of mod of z minus omega is alpha plus root 2 or a plus root 2. Then what is this a here? So see, this mod of z minus 1 is equal to 3. Basically, it is a circle with center at 1. 1 means 1 comma 0 and radius 3. And omega minus iota, you can say that z lies on a circle with center at 1 comma 0, radius 3. Omega also lies on a circle with center at iota. Iota means 0 comma 1 and radius 4. And if you find the distance between the two centers, the distance between the two centers is root 2 here, which is less than the sum of radius but greater than the difference of radius. Means these two circles are intersecting circles. So let's draw two intersecting circles first. Okay, let's say this is your first circle. Its center is 1 comma 0 and radius is 3. And then we have another circle here. Its center is 0 comma 1 and radius is 4. Now if I draw the line joining the centers of the two circles here, to see the center of this first circle A is 1 comma 0. The center of the second circle, let's say B, is 0 comma 1. And let's say this is the common diameter. It meets the circle at C and D here. So out of all those points which lie on these two circles respectively, actually Z lies on the first circle and omega lies on the second circle. Mod of Z minus omega means distance between Z and omega. So you have to maximize the distance between Z and omega. Now see, if Z is moving on this first circle, omega is moving on this second circle, the maximum distance between Z and omega means maximum of mod Z minus omega. It is nothing but CD only. It is CD. And CD is basically what? CD is AB, means distance between the centers of the two circles, plus sum of radii. AB plus AC plus BD. AB plus AC plus BD. And AB is root 2, AC is 3, BD is 4. So it is 7 plus root 2. They have given the maximum distance as A plus root 2. Hence A is 7 here. Right? Simple application of complex number, geometrical application of complex number. Okay, let's see this question. This is from limits t approaching to 0 plus t square to t cube sine root x dx in the numerator, and in the denominator e raised to t minus 1 and log 1 plus t square. So see, if I check this limit first, limit t approaching to 0 plus e raised to t minus 1, let's divide by t here, so that e raised to t minus 1 by t is 1. Then log 1 plus t square by t square, it is also 1. And since I have divided with t and t square, so to balance it, multiply with t cube. So you can see that this e raised to t minus 1 by t, it is 1. Log 1 plus t square by t square, it is also 1. So effectively, this is equal to t cube. means this will be replaced by 1, this will be replaced by 1, so this will be effectively t cube, and hence I can write this limit as limit t approaching to 0 plus t square to t cube sine root x dx divided by t cube. In fact, denominator is effectively t cube. Same, I have already shown here e raised to t minus 1 by t1 log 1 plus t square by t square 1 to effectively. And now it is 0 by 0 form. So I can use L'Hopital rule here, LH rule. So if I use L'Hopital rule here, in fact it is t here, t is approaching to 0 plus. So let's differentiate numerator and denominator with respect to t. The numerator will be differentiated using Leibniz formula, means t is replaced by upper limit. So sine under root t cube means t raised to 3 by 2. And then derivative of upper limit is 3t square. Then sine under root t square, which is t. Derivative of lower limit is 2t whole divided by derivative of denominator is 3t square. So now you can write it as limit t approaching to 0 plus sine t raised to 3 by 2 minus 2 by 3 sine t by t. Now when t approaches to 0, so this sine t raised to 3 by 2, this will become 0, then 2 by 3, and sine t over t is 1 when t approaches to 0. So hence minus 2 by 3 is the correct answer here, right? See this question. They have given that function fx is integral part of x plus 2 plus integral part of x square minus a. This square bracket is actually GIF integral part. And domain of the function is R, all real numbers. Codomain is Z, set of integers. So which type of function is this? 1, 1 on 2, many 1 on 2, 1, 1 into many 1 on 2. So see, this function can also be written as, I can take 2 outside here. So this function can also be written as integral part of x plus integral part of x whole square minus 6. Or I can also write it as integral part of x 1 plus integral part of x minus 6. Clearly it is a many 1 function, because if you choose any number between 0 and 1, integral part will be 0. The value of the function will be minus 6. Means if I check f0, it is minus 6. Even if I check f half, it is minus 6. The values are repeating. Choose any number between 0 and 1, value will be minus 6. Choose any number between 1 and 2, value will be 1 into 2 minus 4. The values are repeating. Hence, it is many 1 function for sure. Now you can see that yes, the value of this function is always an integer, but all integers will not be there in the range. Some selected integers will be there in the range. All integers will not be there in the range. For example, if I take any value of integral part of x, integral part of x into 1 plus integral part of x is always even. See, integral part of x, let's say integral part of x is any integer n. So n into 1 plus n is always even. Minus 6, it is also even. So the value of this function is always even. Fx is always even. Means odd integers cannot be there in the range. Odd integers are not there in the range. So hence range cannot be equal to z. Range is not equal to z. And since range is not equal to codomain, hence it is an into function. So this function is many 1 into, which is option D. Sin inverse x plus sin inverse y plus cos inverse z is minus pi. Then you have to get xy plus yz plus zx. Simple application of range of inverse trigonometric function. You know that sin inverse x is minimum minus pi by 2 and cos inverse z is minimum 0. So this minus pi is possible only when all these three terms, sin inverse x, sin inverse y and cos inverse z, are at minimum. Means this minus pi is possible only when Sine inverse x is minus pi by 2. Sine inverse y is also minus pi by 2. And cos inverse z is 0. This is the only possibility when you can achieve, or when the left hand side can be minus pi. And sine inverse x is minus pi by 2 means x is minus 1. Y is also minus 1. And z is cos 0, which is 1. So hence what will be xy plus yz plus zx? Xy is 1, yz is minus 1, zx is minus 1. So this value is minus 1 here. Means option A is the correct option, right? Okay, see this question. This is from complex numbers. So you are given an equation in z and omega. Mod z is 3 given. So then omega will move on straight line parallel to real axis. Basically, you have to find the locus of omega. What will be the locus of omega out of these 4 given options? And since mod z is given as 3 here, so let's find z first. Let's find z first. So I can write z times 2 iota minus omega bar. Or in fact, let's write I can write it as 3 omega bar is z times omega bar minus 2 iota. This equation can be written like this: 3 omega bar z times omega bar minus 2 iota. And I know that mod z is 3. It is given here. So let's take mod both sides. So if I take mod both sides, so I'm getting 3 mod omega bar is same as mod omega, then mod z, which is also 3, and then mod omega bar minus 2 iota. 3 cancel, so I got mod omega. And modulus of a complex number and its conjugate will be same. So even if I take the conjugate of this omega bar minus 2 iota, modulus will remain same. So if I take the conjugate of this omega bar minus 2 iota, so conjugate will become omega plus 2 iota. So now you can see that mod omega means distance of omega from the origin, and omega plus 2 iota means distance of omega from minus 2 iota. So actually omega is equidistant from 0 and 0 comma minus 2. What it means, actually your complex number omega is equidistant from 0 and 0 comma minus 2. 0 comma minus 2 will be, let's say this is 0 comma minus 2 here. This is 0. So omega is equidistant from origin at 0 comma minus 2. So hence omega will be lying on the perpendicular bisector of this line segment OA. A is 0 comma minus 2. So omega will lie on the perpendicular bisector of the line segment OA. So that means this is the locus of omega, this line. This line is the locus of omega, and obviously this line is parallel to x-axis, real axis. So hence omega is lying on a straight line parallel to real axis. Option A is the correct option here. Okay, let's see this question. This is from ellipse. An ellipse is given to you and you have to find the maximum value of x square plus y square. To see any point on this ellipse, I can take in parametric form. X minus 1 can be taken as 4 cos theta, y can be taken as 3 sin theta. So I can choose x minus 1 as 4 cos theta, and I can choose y as 3 sin theta. Now what they are asking? They are asking the minimum value of x square plus y square. X is 4 cos theta plus 1 whole square. Y square is 3 sin theta, so y square is 9 sin square theta. So I'm getting it as 16 cos square theta plus 8 cos theta plus 1 then 9 times sine square theta can be written as 1 minus cos square theta. So now it is 7 cos square theta plus 8 cos theta plus 10. And now you need its minimum value. What will be the minimum value of this expression? Let's suppose cos theta is t. So it is 7t square plus 8t plus 10. Of course, t varies between minus 1 and 1. Cos theta will vary between 1. So now you need its minimum value. Let's say this function is ft. You need the minimum value of this function. So if you differentiate it, f dash t will be what? 14t plus 8, 0. So t will be minus 4 by 7. So hence it is minimum when t is minus 4 by 7. In fact, you can easily write also because it is a quadratic in t. So it will be minimum at the vertex, means minimum at the point minus b by 2a. If I read it this quadratic as at square plus bt plus c, the minimum will be when t is minus b by 2a, and minus b by 2a is actually minus 4 by 7, right? Or you can make a perfect square. So minimum will be when the perfect square is 0. All are same thing. So what will be the minimum value? Minimum value is f of minus 4 by 7. So it becomes 7 into 16 by 49. So 16 by 7 minus 32 by 7 plus 10. So now it is 10 minus 16 by 7. 70 minus 16. 70 minus 16 is 54. So that simply means C is the correct option here. 54 by 7 is correct. See this question. This is based on parabola and circle. So you are given a circle here, x square plus y square is equal to 16. Of course, the center of the circle is origin, radius is 4. And you have a parabola here, whose vertex is b comma 0, and axis of the parabola is x-axis only. Vertex is b comma 0 and axis is x-axis. So you can say that both parabola and circle are symmetric about x-axis. Now they are saying that this parabola bisects the circumference of the circle. This parabola bisects the circumference of the circle, and the focus of the parabola is at the center of the circle. So let me draw the circle first. Let's say this is your circle. Suppose this is a circle, and this circle has center at origin, and radius of the circle is 4 here. So of course, this point is 0, 4, and this point is 0, minus 4. And focus of the parabola is at the center of the circle, at origin only. And vertex of the parabola is b comma 0. And since parabola is bisecting the circle, so that means common chord of the parabola and the circle, common chord of the parabola and the circle must be the diameter of the circle. Common chord of the parabola and the circle must be the diameter of the circle, because circle is bisected by the parabola. So that means this line, this y-axis, this diameter will be the common chord. So your parabola should look like this. Parabola will be something like this. This is the parabola. So this is the common chord. Let me call it AB. In fact, this point is A, this point is B. The common chord is this y-axis. Means the diameter along the y-axis is the common chord. So you can clearly see that your parabola must pass through 0, 4. So 0, 4 satisfies the parabola. 0, 4 lies on y square is equal to 4ax minus b. So if I put x0, y minus 4 here, So I'm getting 16. X is 0, so minus 4ab. So hence I'm getting AB is equal to minus 4. One more thing is given. The focus of the parabola is origin. The focus of this parabola is origin. And what will be the focus of the parabola? See, vertex of the parabola is B comma 0. And the distance between vertex and focus is A. Distance between vertex and focus is A. The focus will be at a distance of A unit from B comma 0. The focus will be A plus B comma 0. And they are saying that this focus is at the origin. So hence A plus B must be 0. B must be minus A. Now if you put B is equal to minus A here, so A square is equal to 4. So A will be plus minus 2. Hence B will be minus plus 2. Means if A is 2, then B is minus 2. If A is minus 2, then B is plus 2. So what will be mod A plus mod B? Obviously mod A plus mod B is 4 here. Means option B is the correct option here. P and Q. Okay, let's see this question. P and Q divides the join of the points A and B in the ratio 3:1 internally and externally respectively. Actually, P is dividing AB internally in the ratio 3:1 and Q is dividing AB externally in the ratio 3:1. R is the midpoint of AB. R is the midpoint of AB. So then you have to pick the correct option here. So let's check. Suppose for the sake of convenience, I'm taking A as origin. It doesn't matter which points you are taking here. So let's say A is taken as origin. And P and Q are dividing AB in the ratio 3:1. So let's say AB length is 4. Let's say AB length is 4 here. So this point will be 4 comma 0. R is the middle point of AB. So R will be 2 comma 0. P is dividing AB internally in the ratio 3:1. So P will be 3 comma 0. 3:1 means AP length is 3, PB length is 1. And Q is dividing externally in the ratio 3:1. So that means if I take AQ as 3, so then QB will be 1. If I take AQ as 3, so then QB will be 1. So let's say Q is here. And since Q is dividing externally in the ratio 3:1, Q is dividing externally, dividing AB externally in the ratio 3:1. So you can say this is A0, 0, B0, B4, 0. And Q is dividing in the ratio 3:1, but externally. It means when you use the formula, you will write M1x2 minus M2x1 over M1 minus M2. So what will be the coordinates of Q? M1x2, 3 into 4, 12. Minus M2x1, 1 into 0 over M1 minus M2, 3 minus 1. And obviously Y coordinate will be 0. So actually Q is 6 comma 0. Q is 6 comma. Just use the section formula for external division M1x2 minus M2x1 over M1 minus M2. Now check the options. They are saying ki RP, RB, RQ. So let's check RP, RB, RQ. RP, you can see RP is 1. Then RB, which is obviously 2. Then RQ, which is obviously 4. So 1, 2, 4 means it is a GP. So hence B option is correct option here. B option is correct option here. But if when you check AP, AB, AQ, so AP is 3, AB is 4, and AQ is 6, which is neither an AP nor a GP. This one is neither an AP nor a GP. Means only B is the correct option here. See this question. This is from ITF, inverse trigonometric functions. based on infinite series. So you have to find the sum of this infinite series. So I can write this sum as, in sigma form, I can write it as limit n approaching to infinity sigma r varying from 1 to n tan inverse. See, numerator is 2, 2 square, 2 cube. In general, it is 2 raised to r. And denominator is 2 plus 2 square, then 2 raised to 4, then 2 raised to 6. It is 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3. So 2 raised to 2r here. When you put r is equal to 1, you will get the first term. R is equal to 2, you will get the second term. R is equal to 3, you will get the third term, like that. Now I can write it as limit n approaching to infinity sigma r varying from 1 to n tan inverse 1 2 can be cancelled from numerator and denominator. So now numerator is 2 raised to r minus 1 and denominator is 1 plus 2 raised to 2r minus 1. Limit n approaching to infinity sigma r varying from 1 to n. Now it can be written as tan inverse. See the denominator thing, 1 plus 2 raised to 2r minus 1. It can be written as 2 raised to r, 2 raised to r minus 1. And numerator can be written as 2 raised to r minus 2 raised to r minus 1. So now it is formula tan inverse x minus y over 1 plus xy. So this is limit n approaching to infinity sigma r varying from 1 to n tan inverse x minus y over 1 plus xy. So this is tan inverse 2 raised to r minus 2 raised to r minus. And now you can see that it is a telescopic series. When you put r varying from 1 to n, all terms gets cancelled except the first one and the last one. The largest one and the smallest one, all other term will get cancelled. So when you put r varying from 1 to n here, so ultimately you will get tan inverse 2 raised to n minus tan inverse 2 raised to 0. All other term will get cancelled. Only the last one, which is tan inverse 2 raised to n. My bad here. It is tan inverse. It is tan inverse 2 raised to r minus tan inverse 2 raised to r minus. So when you put r varying from 1 to n, all terms gets cancelled. Only the largest one, which is tan inverse 2 raised to n, and the smallest one, which is minus tan inverse 2 raised to 0, remains. Now, since n is approaching to infinity, so I can write it as tan inverse infinity minus tan inverse 1. 2 raised to 0 is 1. Tan inverse infinity is pi by 2. Tan inverse 1 is pi by 4. So hence pi by 4 will be the correct option, which is the first option, right? Okay, let's see this question. This is based on area. You have to find the area of the region S. S contains the point x comma y, satisfying this inequality containing these two roots. And one more extra information is given here, ki y is less than 0. Means you are taking the area below x-axis only, right? So see, you can clearly say that since you have a square root here, so this x plus y plus 3, it must be greater than or equal to 0. Y minus x plus 2, it is also greater than or equal to 0. Y less than 0 is already given. Now if I do squaring here both sides, in the squaring both sides for the given inequality, so I will get x plus y plus 3 less than or equal to y minus x plus 2. So here y disappears. 2x less than 1, so x less than or equal to half. So now you have to find area bounded by these four inequalities. Now you have four inequalities: first, second, third, and fourth. So let's draw the figure now. X-axis, origin, y-axis. We have to take the area for y less than 0, means below x-axis. X less than or equal to half. X is equal to half is a vertical line. So let's say this line is x is equal to half. This is vertical line. You have to take the area on the left side of this vertical line, x less than or equal to half. Now let's draw this line, x plus y plus 3, 0. This line x plus y plus 3, 0. It meets x-axis and y-axis both at 3. So this line is both at minus 3, my bad. So this line is x plus y plus 3, 0. This point is minus 3 comma 0. This point is 0 comma minus 3. And this point will be what? So this is x is equal to half, minus half, my bad. It is half or minus half? Minus half it is actually. Yes, 2x minus half. No? So I've drawn the figure correctly. It was there in my subconscious mind. It is minus half, but I've written half. It is minus half only. So this point will be what? When I put x is equal to minus half here in the line x plus y plus 3, 0. This line is x plus y plus 3, 0. So if you put x as minus half, so minus half plus y plus 3, 0. So y will be minus 5 by 2. So this point is minus half comma minus 5 by 2. This point. Right. Now one more line we have, y minus x plus 2, 0. Y minus x plus 2, 0. And this line cuts x-axis at 2 and y-axis at minus 2. X-axis at 2, y-axis at minus 2. And what will be the intersection of these two lines? If I find the, so obviously intersection of these two lines is also this same point, x is equal to minus half, x is equal to minus half minus half. So yes, so your second line is basically line like this. This point is 2 comma 0. This point is 0 comma 2. Now which area you have to find? You have to find the area on the left side of this vertical line, x is equal to minus half, below y-axis, and on the upper side of this line, and on the upper side of this line, also, on the upper side of this line also, because it is greater than or equal to 0. So actually common area is this area only, the shaded area. Common area is this shaded area only. This line here. So on the upper side of the line, so this is the common area actually. And this is basically a right triangle. You can see that this area is basically a right triangle. And the base of this right triangle is this. Altitude is this. So area will be what? Half. Base this length. So this is minus half, this is minus 3. So base length is 5 by 2. And altitude length is also 5 by 2. This length is also 5 by 2. So area will be what? 25 by 8. Means C option should be the correct option here. Let's see this question. We have to find the range of this function based on range. And you can clearly see that this is an even function. This is an even function. Why even function? Because if I replace x with minus x, so then there will be no change in the function. If I replace x with minus x here, there is no change in the function. So what I will do, I will find the range only for x greater than or equal to 0. Whatever range I am getting for x greater than or equal to 0. So that will be the complete range, because the graph of an even function is always symmetric about y-axis. So whatever graph you are getting on the right side of y-axis, you will get its mirror image on the left side of y-axis. You will just get its mirror image on the left side of y-axis. Okay, so what I was saying, this is an even function. Its graph is symmetric about the y-axis, right? So whatever graph you are getting on the right side of y-axis, the same graph you will get on the left side of y-axis, just mirror image. So whatever range you are getting on the right side of y-axis, same range will be repeated on the left side of y-axis. So just find the range for x greater than or equal to 0 here. So if x is greater than or equal to 0, so then this function is under root 1 plus x square over 1 plus x. Under root 1 plus x square over 1 plus x, right? Now I need its range, so let's differentiate it. When you differentiate it using quotient tool, you will get denominator whole square here, denominator, derivative of numerator. Then chain rule, you have to differentiate 1 plus x square also, 2x, minus numerator, and then derivative of denominator. Now let's simplify it. So this 2 and this 2 disappears. You are getting x plus x square minus 1 plus x square. And in the denominator, you are getting 1 plus x square raised to 3 by 2. So now it is x minus 1 over 1 plus x square raised to 3 by 2. So if you put the derivative 0, so you are getting only 1 point x is equal to 1. Right. And we are finding the range of the function when x belongs to 0 to infinity. So see, clearly at x is equal to 0, the value of the function is 1. At x is equal to 1, the value of the function is root 2 by 2, which is 1 by root 2. And when x goes to infinity, function is again approaching to 1. Just take the limit at x approaching to infinity, it is approaching to 1 only. Just divide the numerator and denominator by x here, so you will get this limit. So you can clearly see that the range of the function is what? Minimum value you are getting 1 by root 2, and maximum value you are getting 1. So hence the range of this function is 1 by root 2 to 1, which is option B, right? Let's see this question. This is from differential equations. Okay, let's see this question. This is from differential equations. dy plus xy dx is x dx, y0 is 2. You have to get integral part of 3y under root ln 2. So see this differential equation first. If I divide the whole equation by dx here, so I'm getting dy by dx plus xy is equal to x. Just divide the whole equation by dx. So dy by dx, xy, x. And you can see that it is a linear differential equation, dy by dx p by q. Actually, it is variable separable also. You can separate the two variables. So both will work, whether you solve through variable separable or you solve through linear differential, both will be working here. I'm solving with linear differential equation, dy by dx plus p by q. So what will be its integrating factor? Its integrating factor is e raised to p dx, which is e raised to x square by 2. This is the integrating factor. Now let's write the solution. The solution will be what? Left side y into integrating factor and right side q into integrating factor. Left side y into integrating factor, right side q into integrating factor. Now on the right hand side, if you substitute this x square by 2 as t, then x dx is dt. So it is e raised to t dt. T is taken as x square by 2, right? So now I'm getting y e raised to x square by 2. The integration of e raised to t is e raised to t itself, and t is x square by 2 plus c. Now if I divide the whole equation by e raised to x square by 2, so I'm getting y as 1 plus c times e raised to minus x square by 2. So this is your solution. Now they have given that y0 is 2. So means 0 comma 2 satisfies it. Y0 is 2. When x is 0, y is 2. So if I put 0 comma 2 here, x0, y2, so I'm getting 2, 1, x0 to plus c, c is 1. So now I can say that y is 1 plus e raised to minus x square by 2. Now they are asking y under root ln by 2. So if I put x is equal to, let's find y under root ln by 2. Y under root ln by 2. So if I put x is equal to under root ln by 2 here, so I will get 1 plus e raised to, x is under root ln by 2. So x square will be ln by 2. So you are getting minus half ln 2 here. Minus half ln 2. X square is ln 2. Now it is 1 plus e raised to ln 2 raised to minus half. And ln 2 raised to minus half is same as 2 raised to minus half. So it is 1 plus 2 raised to minus half. They are asking 3 times y under root ln 2. So 3 times y under root ln 2. If you multiply it by 3, so you are getting 3 times 1 plus 2 raised to minus half is 1 by root 2. And now you need its integral part. To see 1 by root 2 is root 2 by 2. Root 2 is 1.4414. So root 2 by 2 will be roughly 0.7. 1 plus 0.7 is 1.7. 1.7 into 3 will be 5.1 roughly. So this quantity inside the integral part is roughly 5.1, and hence its integral part will be 5 only, which is option C, right? Okay, let's see this question. This is from area. So fx is maximum of these 5 functions: mod x minus 1, mod x minus 2, mod x minus 3, mod x minus 4, mod x minus 5. And gx is minimum of these 5 functions. So what will be area bounded by fx, gx, x-axis, x is equal to 0 means y-axis means from 0 to 5. From 0 to 5, area bounded by these two curves, or you can say area between these two curves. So let's draw these graph first. So y is equal to mod x minus 1. The graph of mod x minus 1 will be a V-shaped graph, turning point at 1. Turning point at 1. So y is equal to mod x minus 1 will be a V-shaped graph like this, turning point at 1. So this is y is equal to mod x minus 1. Then y is equal to mod x minus 2. Again a V-shaped graph, turning point at 2. Turning point at 2. This is mod x minus 2. Y is equal to mod x minus 3 is again a V-shaped graph, but turning point at 3. Turning point at 3. This is mod x minus 3. Mod x minus 4 is again a V-shaped graph, turning point at 4. This is mod x minus 4. And finally, mod x minus 5 is again a V-shaped graph, turning point at 5. Right. So these are the graph of mod x minus 1, mod x minus 2, mod x minus 3, mod x minus 4, mod x minus 5. Now I have to take maximum and minimum of these graph. This is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what is maximum of these? Maximum is the upper graph. So see, maximum of these will be this graph. Maximum will be this graph, which is I'm marking right now. Maximum is the upper graph, this one. This one is the maximum graph here. This one. This graph will be the maximum graph, this one. This graph. So this shaded graph, this colored graph, this graph is maximum, this orange color graph. Now what is minimum? Minimum is this one, which I'm shading right now. This one. First minimum of these 5 is this one here. Then this one. Then this one. Then this one. Then this one. Then this. This. And this. And then this. This is minimum from 0 to 5. This. And all these will be at same level actually. All these will be at the level of 1 only. So now what is the area between this maximum and minimum? Area between this maximum and minimum. So see, just find the area of this maximum graph with the x-axis and subtract the area of the minimum graph. So what will be the area of this maximum graph first? If I find the area of this maximum, so this is 5 here. This is 5 here. Obviously, this point will be what? This line is y is equal to x minus 1, this line. So this point will be 5, 4 here. This point. This line is y is equal to x minus 1, 5, 4. What is this one? This line is y is equal to 5 minus x. This line. So this point, if you find the intersection of 5 minus x and x minus 1, so you will get what? You will get equate 5 minus x and x minus 1. So you are getting 2x is equal to 6. So this point is 3, x3 here, 3 comma 2. This is basically 3 comma 2 here. Yes, 3 comma 2. Okay. Now, what is this maximum area? Area bounded by fx and x-axis. Let's find the area bounded by this fx and x-axis. So you can see that you have two trapezium. First this larger trapezium, and then this trapezium, two trapezium here, this trapezium. So what is this area? This larger area. Area bounded by fx and x-axis. The area of trapezium is what? Half sum of parallel sides. This point is 0, 5. Yes, it is 0, 5. So half, this side is 5. Half sum of parallel sides. This side is 2. And the distance between the parallel sides is 3. This side is 3 from here to here. Then again a trapezium, half. This side is 2. This side is 4. And distance between this side is 2. Half sum of parallel sides. Distance between the parallel sides is 2. Here I'm getting what? 5 and 2, 7, 21 by 2. And here I'm getting 6. So it is 33 by 2. This is the area bounded by maximum graph. Now what is the area bounded by this minimum graph? Area bounded by the minimum graph here. This is area of fx. Now I'm finding area of gx with x-axis. So area of gx is these triangles actually. This triangle, then this triangle, then this triangle, then this triangle, then this triangle. This triangle. And all these triangles, you can see that in all these triangles, base length is 1, base length is 1, and altitude length is also 1. Actually, if you find the intersection of this y is equal to x minus 1, this line is y is equal to x minus 1, and this line is y is equal to 2 minus x. This line is y is equal to x minus 1, and this line, this downward line, this line is y is equal to 2 minus x. So you can see that 2x is 3. No, 1 actually. 2. I'm getting different here. This line is y is equal to x minus 1, right? Yes, it is x minus 1. And this downward line is, yes, y is equal to 2 minus x. So if I solve, I'm getting 2x is equal to 3 now. So x is 3 by 2. And when I put x is equal to 3 by 2, when I put x is equal to 3 by 2 here, the y coordinate will be half. So altitude is half actually here. Altitude is half. Just put x is equal to 3 by 2. So this triangle, these four triangle, 1, 2, 3, 4. These four triangle means 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, 5. All these four triangles have same area. The four triangle base length is 1, altitude length is half. And then I have one more triangle here, this triangle. This triangle has base length 1, altitude length 1. What area you are getting here? This area you are getting 1 plus half. So it is 3 by 2. So hence your final answer is what? Upper area is 33 by 2. Lower area is 3 by 2. So it is 15. So your final area should be 15, upper minus lower. Okay, see this question. They are saying that if five dice are thrown, each face, five dice, each with numbers 1 to 6 on their faces are thrown simultaneously. If the probability that the highest number obtained is 4, is 11a over 6 raised to 5, then what is the value of a here? So actually, you are throwing 5 dice and the highest number that you are getting is 4. Highest number that you are getting is 4. The probability of getting highest number 4 is given to you, 11a over 6 raised to 5. What is a here? So see, when you throw 4 dice, so what will be ns? How many dice you are throwing actually? You are throwing actually 5 dice. So ns will be 6 raised to 5. Ns means total number of cases. For each die you have 6 options. So 6 into 6 into 6, 6 raised to 5. Now what is the favorable cases? Any favorable case. Any means number of element in the event, favorable cases. So see, the highest number that you are getting is 4. So that means all the five numbers that you are getting on 5 dice are less than or equal to 4. So for each number you have 4 options. So 4 into 4 into 4, 5 times, 4 raised to 5. But when you are writing this 4 raised to 5, this also includes the possibility when each of the 5 numbers is less than or equal to 3. Means you are not getting 4. See, you are saying for the first dice, let's say this is dice 1, dice 2, dice 3, dice 4, dice 5. You are saying that if for this you have 4 options, means here you are getting either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Similarly, here you have 4 options. 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 So 4 raised to 5. But actually 4 option is what? You may get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So this also includes the possibility when you are not getting 4 on any of the 4 dice. It's quite possible that let's say here you are getting 1, here you are getting 2, let's say here you are getting 3, here you are getting let's say 2, 1, again here you are getting let's say 1. You are not getting 4 on any of the 4 dice. So that means that possibility should be excluded. So when I'm not getting 4 on any of the 5 dice, so that means on each dice I'm getting the numbers from 1 to 3 only. So 3 raised to 5. So this is the favorable number of cases. Favorable number of cases will be what? 4 raised to 5 minus 3 raised to 5. 4 raised to 5 minus 3 raised to 5. These are the favorable number of cases. So what will be the probability? Probability will be, and this probability is given as 11a over 6 raised to 5. So probability 11a over 6 raised to 5 is actually 4 raised to 5 minus 3 raised to 5 over 6 raised to 5. So this 6 raised to 5 is cancelled. Now just simplify this. 11a, 4 raised to 5 is 1024. 3 raised to 5 is 243. So 11a, it is what? 1 and 8, then 7. Is it divisible by 11? So 11, yes, 71. So a is 71 here. See this function, this question, this is from function. Fx is given to you and they are asking that f of integral part of x is not defined for which interval. So fx is what? Fx is 1 over, it can be factorized, denominator x minus 6, x minus 11. So you can say that fx is not defined if x is equal to 6 or 11. So hence if I replace x with integral part of x here, so f of integral part of x is not defined if integral part of x is 6 or integral part of x is 11. and integral part of x is 6 means x lies between 6 and 7. Integral part of x is 11 means x lies between 11 and 12. So hence you can say that this function f of integral part of x, this function is not defined in the interval 6 to 7 union 11 to 12. This function is not defined in the interval 6 to 7 union 11 to 12. Means option C is the correct option here. Okay, see this question. This is from differentiability. Three functions given here, f of g of fx, gx and hx, and they are asking the derivative of f of g of hx at x is equal to 0. F of g of hx at x is equal to 0. But we don't know whether this derivative exists or not. So what I will do, I will check both right hand derivative and left hand derivative at x is equal to 0 and see whether it exists or not. So let's check the right hand derivative first at x is equal to 0. So it is limit x approaching to 0 plus f of g of h of x minus f of g of h of 0, since you are checking at 0, divided by x minus 0. F of g of h of x. See, whenever you are checking the differentiability of a function fx at x is equal to a, what you write, fx minus fa over x minus a. When you are checking the differentiability at x is equal to a, so find this limit fx minus fa over x minus a. When x is approaching to a plus, it is right hand derivative. When x is approaching to a minus, it is left hand derivative. So here I am checking the right hand derivative. So x is approaching to 0 plus f of g of hx minus f of g of h0 over x. Now it is what? It is limit x approaching to 0 plus f of g of hx is x only. It is given in the question. Hx is x only. So h0 will be 0. So it is f of g of 0 over x. Now it is limit x approaching to 0 plus. When x is 0 plus means greater than 0, so gx will be e raised to x. So it is f of e raised to x and g0 will be 1. So f of 1 over x. F of e raised to x minus f1 over x. Now it is limit x approaching to 0 plus. Since x is 0 plus, so e raised to x is greater than 1. And for greater than 1, fx is x plus 1. So f of e raised to x will be e raised to x plus 1. E raised to x plus 1. This is f of e raised to x. See, for x approaching to 0 plus, e raised to x is greater than 1. And for greater than 1, fx is x plus 1. So then f of e raised to x is e raised to x plus 1. f1 is what? f1 you can see it is 2 by x. Now you can see it is a standard formula, e raised to x minus 1 by x. So this limit is 1. So right hand derivative is 1 here. Now let's check left hand derivative. Limit x approaching to 0 minus now. So same thing, you will write f of g of hx, which is f of g of x. Again, same thing. Only the limit is changed from 0 plus to 0 minus. Otherwise, everything is same. F of g of 0 over x. Now it is limit x approaching to 0 minus. Now this time x is approaching to 0 minus means x is negative. And when x is negative, fx is this, gx is this function, 1 plus log 1 plus x. So in place of gx, I'll be writing 1 plus log 1 plus x. g0 is 1. You can see g0 is 1. So it is f1 whole divided by x. Now when x is approaching to 0 minus, x is slightly less than 1. When x is slightly less than 1, so this 1 plus log 1 plus x is also less than 1. 1 plus log 1 plus x is also less than 1. So hence fx is x square plus 1 when x is less than 1, but you are not writing fx here. You are writing f of 1 plus log 1 plus x. So in this rule, replace x with 1 plus log 1 plus x. So x will be replaced with 1 plus log 1 plus x whole square plus 1. F1 is 2 over x. And now you can see that this 1 minus 2 here, it will become minus 1. So it is limit x approaching to 0 minus 1 plus log 1 plus x whole square minus 1 by x. Now just factorize it using the formula a square minus b square. So you will get it as limit x approaching to 0 minus a square minus b square is a plus b, a minus b. So a plus b will be 2 plus log 1 plus x. And a minus b will be log 1 plus x. And in the denominator you have x. And see, when x approaches to 0 plus, so this will, the first bracket will become 2 plus. When you put x 0, the log 1 is 0. So 2 plus 0. And this log 1 plus x over x is 1. This is standard formula. When x approaches to 0, log 1 plus x over x is 1. So this is 2. So you can see that the right hand derivative is 1, left hand derivative is 2. Means the derivative does not exist at x is equal to 0. So which option is correct here? Does not exist, but both left hand derivative and right hand derivative exist. Means option C. Option C is the correct answer here. Okay, let's see this question. This is from a functional equation given to you. F dash 0 is 2. F2 you have to find. So you are given a functional equation. F dash 0 is given. F2 you have to find. So what I will do here in this type of question, what you do simply is just differentiate it with respect to y partially. Partially means you are differentiating with respect to y, treating x as a constant. Differentiating with respect to y partially means differentiating with respect to y, treating x as a constant. So what you will get? F dash x plus y. E raised to x is constant, left as it is f dash y. The derivative of e raised to y is e raised to y, fx left as it is, as fx is a constant. Then derivative of e raised to x plus y is e raised to x plus y only with respect to y. Now see, f dash 0 is given. F dash 0 is given 2. So put y is equal to 0 here. When you put y is equal to 0, so you are getting f dash x. E raised to x f dash 0. F dash 0 is 2. So it is 2 e raised to x. F0. In fact, e raised to 0 is 1. So fx minus e raised to x. So now you can see that you are getting a linear differential equation. If you replace fx with y, or let's say fx with t, so it is a linear differential equation dt by dx minus y is equal to e raised to x. So now I can say that it is a linear differential equation dy by dx minus y is equal to e raised to x. If I take y as fx, fx is y, so f dash x is dy by dx. Fx is y, f dash x is the linear differential equation. Its integrating factor is what? E raised to minus dx, so e raised to minus x. So what will be the solution? Left side y into integrating factor and right side q into integrating factor. E raised to x is q, e raised to minus x is integrating factor, so right side is dx only. So you are getting y is fx, e raised to minus x. On the right side you are getting x plus c. Just divide the whole equation by e raised to minus x. So fx is what? X e raised to x plus c e raised to x. This is fx. Now let's find c. What is c here? So see, from the original given functional equation, if you look at this original given functional equation, and if I put here x and y both 0, if I put x and y both 0 here, so what I'm getting? f0, e raised to 0 f0, again e raised to 0 f0 minus e raised to 0, which is 1. So actually f0 is 1. And here if I check f0, so it is 0 plus c. And f0 is 1. So hence c is 1. So now I can say that fx is x plus 1 e raised to x. Now what they are asking? They are asking f2. So put x is equal to 2, you will get 3e square. So f2 is actually 3e square, which is option C, right? Here, this question is from statistics. So you are given 5 observations here, 1, 2, 4, 5, AB. 1, 2, 4, 5, AB. And you have to minimize the variance. The variance is minimum. So then which option is false here? For minimum variance, which of the following is false option? So I need to find the variance of these 5 observations. In fact, 6 observations I have. 1, 2, 4, 5, maybe 6 observations I have. And I have to minimize the variance. And you know that when you subtract same quantity from each observation, variance will remain same. Variance, in fact, does not change if you increase or decrease each observation by a constant quantity. If you increase or decrease each observation by a constant quantity, then variance remains as it is. There will not be any change in the variance. So what I'm doing, just for the sake of convenience, okay, let's subtract 3 from each observation. So if I subtract 3 from each observation, so I'm getting -2, -1, 1, 2, a minus 3, b minus 3. And let's again suppose this a minus 3 is x, b minus 3 is y. So now I can say that my 5 observations are what? -2, -1, 1, 2, and let's say x, y. So the variance of these 5 observations, will be same as the variance of these 5 numbers. Now how will you get the variance here? So variance will be what? Mean of a square minus a square of the mean. So what we -2 square is 4, -1 square is 1. I'm writing variance actually. I'm writing variance. So -2 square 4, -1 square 1, then again 1, then 4, then x square plus y square by 6. This is mean of a square minus a square of the mean. So -2, -1, 1, 2, x, y over 6 whole square. Now you are getting what? You are getting here 10 plus x square plus y square by 6. And here you are getting x plus y whole square, means x square plus y square plus 2xy by 36. LCM will be 36. So now it is 1 by 36. You will get 5x square plus 5y square minus 2xy plus 60. And now you can write it as 1 by 36, 4x square plus 4y square, and then x square plus y square minus 2xy is x minus y whole square plus 60. And now you can see that it is clearly which is minimum if you can see that being a square, Square cannot be negative. The minimum will be 0. X minus y whole square can be minimum 0. X and y can be x square and y square can be minimum 0. So this is minimum. It is minimum when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. And x is actually what? X is actually a minus 3. Y is actually b minus 3. So hence it is minimum when a is equal to b is equal to 3. So yes, for minimum a is equal to b means it is true option. But if a is equal to 3, it is also true option. B is equal to 4, it is false option. And the minimum variance, if I put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, so minimum variance is what? Minimum variance is 60 by 36. Just put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So it is 5 by 3. So this option is also correct. Means D option is the false option here. Last option is false. See this question, this is based on number of symmetric relations, number of reflexive relation. So set A is given. A has 5 elements. Then number of such relations that are symmetric but not reflexive is A into 2 raised to B. Number of relations which are symmetric but not reflexive. And the number of relation is A into 2 raised to B. A is odd number. So what is A plus B here? So see, A contains 5 elements here. So let's say A contains these 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now first I am writing how many symmetric relations I can form on this set A. Number of symmetric relations on A. So see, if I write A cross A here, if I write A cross A here, so A cross A will contain, A cross A will contain total 25 pairs. A cross A will contain 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. These 5 pairs, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And then these type of pairs, 1, 2, 2, 1. Then 1, 3, 3, 1. Then 1, 4, 4, 1. Then 1, 5, 5, 1. Then 2, 3, 3, 2. 2, 4, 4, 2. 2, 5, 5, 2. Then 3, 4, 4, 3. To see how many pairs you got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In fact, I'm missing. Yes, I'm missing 4, 5, 5, 4. So now it is 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still, I'm something missing here. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Then I missed 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. It is correct. Then 3, 4, 3, 5. I missed actually. 3, 4, 3, 5. 3, 4, 4, 3. Then 3, 5, 5, 3. And then 4, 5, 5, 4. So these are the pairs in A cross A. Now what will be the number of symmetric relations? Number of symmetric relations on A cross A or on A. The number of symmetric relation. So obviously this 1 comma 1, this 1 comma 1 may be in your relation or may not be in your relation. Means for this 1 comma 1, you have two options. So you have two options for this 1 comma 1. You may take it in your relation or you may not take it on your relation. So two options for 1 comma 1. Two options for 2 comma 2 say. Two options for 3 comma 3. Two options for 4 comma 4. Two options for 5 comma 5. Now here, either you will take both these or you will leave both these. Means if you take 1 comma 2, so then you have to take 2 comma 1 also for symmetric relation. Or you should leave both. You cannot take 1 comma 2 and leave 2 comma 1. Means you cannot take exactly one of these two. Or either you will take both or you will reject both. So for this one you have two options. For this one, you have two options, means it take both or reject both. Two options for this one, 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 two options for this one. So it is 2 raised to 10, 2 into 2, so 2 raised to 10 here. So 2 raised to 5 into 2 raised to 10 means 2 raised to 15. The total number of symmetric relations that you can form on A is 2 raised to 15. Total number of symmetric relations that you can form on A is 2 raised to 15. Now, how many relations you can form? Number of reflexive and symmetric relations. Means how many relations you can form which are reflexive and symmetric both. Number of reflexive and symmetric relations. So now you are forming number of relations which are reflexive as well as symmetric. So for reflexive, actually these 5 elements, for reflexive, these 5 elements are surely in your relation. For reflexive, these 5 elements are surely in your relation. So these 5 are already selected because relations are reflexive. And for these, again, you have two options because relation is symmetric. So either you will select both 1, 2 and 2, 1 or reject both. So 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 2 raised to 10. So this is the number of relations which are reflexive as well as symmetric. So then how many relations are? Then how many relations are symmetric? Number of symmetric but not reflexive relation. Symmetric but not reflexive. So that will be 2 raised to 15 minus 2 raised to 10. 2 raised to 15 minus 2 raised to 10. And this is given as A into 2 raised to B. So I can write it 2 raised to 10 can be taken common. So it is 2 raised to 5 minus 1. So this is 31 into 2 raised to 10. So hence you can say that A is 31 and B is 10. So A plus B will be 41 here. So 41 is the correct option for this one. Okay, let's see this question. This is from vectors. So you are given two vectors here, A and B. C is another vector which is satisfying this equation A cross C is equal to A cross B. A dot C is minus 12 and then C dot I minus 2j plus K is 5. So then what will be mod C here? So first, if you look at this equation, A cross C is equal to A cross B. So I can also write this equation as A cross C minus B is equal to 0. Take it to the left side. So A cross C minus A cross B is A cross C minus B 0. So now you can see that vector A and C minus B must be parallel vector. If cross product of two vectors, if cross product of two vectors is 0, so then they must be parallel. So hence you can say that this C minus B vector is parallel to A vector. Means it can be written as lambda times A. Whenever two vectors A and B are parallel, you can write B is equal to lambda times A or A is equal to lambda times B. So C minus B is parallel to A. So I can write C minus B is equal to lambda times A. Or I can write C is equal to lambda times A plus B. So what is the vector C here? Lambda times A plus B. So I'm getting 6 lambda plus alpha I. 9 lambda plus 11 J. Then 12 lambda minus 2 K. This is vector C. Now they have given that A dot C is minus 12. A dot C is minus 12. So take the dot product of A with C. Dot product of A with C. So you will get 6 into 6 lambda plus alpha. So it is 36 lambda plus 6 alpha. Then 9 into 9 lambda plus 11. So 81 lambda plus 80 plus 99. 12 into 12 lambda minus 2, so 144 lambda minus 24, and it is minus 12. In fact, I should have taken common, so then it will be easy actually. But I should not have multiplied. In fact, 3 can be taken common. So anyhow, you got a linear equation in lambda and alpha from here. You got a linear equation in lambda and alpha from here. Suppose it equation 1. Then write C dot I minus 2j plus k is equal to 5. Now take the dot product of C with this vector I minus 2j plus k. So dot product of C with this vector, so 1 into 6 lambda plus alpha minus 2 into 9 lambda plus 11 and 1 into 12 lambda minus 2. So this is 5. So you got a second equation in lambda and alpha from here. So now you have two equations in lambda and mu, and both lambda and alpha both are linear equations. So you can easily solve for lambda and alpha. And as soon as you get lambda and alpha, so you can find mod C in that case. So just solve equation 1 and 2, get the values of lambda and alpha, and then you can get mod C. So ultimately 27 will be your correct answer. See this question. A multiplied with adjoint A square is given equal to 102, 510, 101. So a matrix A multiplied with its adjoint multiplied with adjoint of A is equal to given to a matrix. So then what will be the absolute value of sum of diagonal elements of adjoint A? So basically you have to find mod value of trace of adjoint A. So what is given here? A into adjoint A square. Adjoint A square can be written as adjoint A into adjoint A. Adjoint A square can be written as adjoint A into adjoint A. And this is what? 1, 0, 5, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Now you know that A into adjoint of A becomes determinant of A into I. So it is determinant of A into I multiplied with adjoint A. So it is 1, 0, 2, 5, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Let's say determinant of A. Let's say determinant of A is written as D here. D is the determinant. So D into adjoint A is this matrix. So if I take determinant both sides, so now it is determinant 1, 0, 2, 5, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Now determinant of D into adjoint A can be written as D cube times determinant of adjoint A. A is 3 by 3 matrix. Now what is the determinant of this? What is the value of the determinant on the right side? So on the right side I'm getting 1 multiplied with 1 and then plus 2 multiplied with 0 minus 1. So minus 1. So it is actually minus 1. And you know that determinant of adjoint A is actually determinant of A whole square. And determinant of A is D. So it is D square minus 1. So this gives you D is equal to minus 1. This gives you D is equal to minus 1. D means what? D means determinant of A. Determinant of A is minus 1. Now if you put the determinant of A as minus 1 here, if you put determinant of A as minus 1 here in this system, so if you put determinant of A minus 1 here, so you will get minus into adjoint A as 102, 510, 101. So hence, what will be adjoint A? Adjoint A will be, in fact, minus 10, minus 2, minus 5, minus 10, minus 10. So what will be the sum of or what will be the trace of adjoint A? trace of adjoint A will be minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Minus goes to the right side actually. So minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. But they are asking the absolute value of the trace. Absolute value of the sum of diagonal elements. So it is 3. 3 is the correct answer here. Okay, let's see this question. This is from 3-dimension geometry. They are saying that these two are intersecting lines. And the point of intersection is alpha, beta, gamma. So what will be alpha plus beta plus gamma here? One more information is given. Lambda square is not 2. So first, since they are intersecting lines, so then if I use the condition for coplanar lines or intersecting lines, so what is the condition for intersecting lines or coplanar lines? Whenever two lines are intersecting, let's say the first line is x minus x1 over a1, y minus y1 over b1, z minus z1 over c1. And second line is, let's say, x minus x2 over a2, y minus y2 over b2, z minus z2 over c2. And if these two lines are coplanar, then the determinant, the first row of the determinant, you will take x1 minus x2, y1 minus y2, z1 minus z2, means the difference of the 2 points on the line. Second row, you will take the direction ratios of the first line, a1, b1, c1. And the third row, you will take the direction ratios of the second line, a2, b2, c2. So if lines are coplanar or intersecting, then this determinant must be 0. So in the first row, I will take the difference of the point on the two lines. So 3 minus 1, 2. 2 minus 2, 0. 1 minus 1 plus 3, which is 4. I'm taking the difference of the points on the two lines. 3 minus 1, 2. 2 minus 2, 0. 1 plus 3, 4. Then direction ratios of the two lines. So 1, 2, lambda square. Then 1, mu square, and 2. So this should be 0. Now let's expand it using the first row. From the first row, so I will get 2 times 4 minus lambda square mu square. Then I will get 4 times mu square minus 2. This is 0. 2 can be taken common here. So I'm getting 4 minus lambda square mu square plus 2 mu square minus 4. 4 also getting cancelled. Mu square taken common. So I'm getting 2 minus lambda square, 0. But they have given that, see, it is giving two possibilities, either mu 0 or lambda square is equal to 2. But they have given that lambda square is not 2. So this possibility is ruled out. Mu is 0 here. And mu is 0. So what are your lines? The first line is x minus 1 by 1, y minus 2 by 2, z plus 3 by lambda square. This is the first line. And second line is x minus 3 by 1, y minus 2 by 0, z minus 1 by 2. This is the second line. Now I have to get the point of intersection of these two lines, alpha, beta, gamma. So let's choose any point, any general point on this second line. So let's take it as t. So any point on this line, x can be written as t plus 3, y can be written as 2, z can be written as 2t plus 1. And if it is the point of intersection of the two lines, let's suppose this is the point of intersection of the two lines. So it must satisfy the first equation also. So if I put x is equal to t plus 3 in the first equation, so t plus 3 minus 1, t plus 2. Y is 2, so 2 minus 2, 0. So you got t is equal to minus 2 from here. T is minus 2. And when t is minus 2, so then x will be 1, y will be 2, z will be minus 3. So these are alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha, beta, gamma. They are asking alpha plus beta plus gamma. The 1 plus 2 minus 3, it should be 0. 0 should be the correct answer. Next question is from straight lines. They are saying that the minimum area of the triangle formed by the straight line passing through the fixed point 3, 1 and cutting positive integral intercepts on coordinate axis. So let's say this is y-axis, this is x-axis. A line is passing through the point 3, 1 and let's say it is cutting x-axis at A, y-axis at B. So suppose this is the line. It is cutting x-axis at A, y-axis at B, passing through the point 3, 1. Let's say here is the point 3, 1. So then they are saying that what will be the minimum area of this triangle? Minimum area of this triangle. And line is cutting x-axis and y-axis on the positive side. So you can see that the slope of this line is negative. Let's say slope is minus m. So I can write the equation of the line using using point slope form as y minus y1 m times x minus x1. You can clearly see that the slope of this line will be negative. So that's why I have taken it as minus m. M is positive here. When m is positive, then slope minus m will be negative. So what will be the x-intercept of the line OA here? Just put y0. So OA will be 1 by m plus 3. Now what will be the y-intercept of the line OB here? To put x0. So it is 3m plus 1. So then what is the area here? Area of this triangle is half OA into OB. So half OA. OA is 1 by m plus 3. And OB is 3m plus 1. Now if I multiply here, so I'm getting half 1 by m into 3m. 3. Then again 3 into 1. Then I'm getting 1 by m plus 9m. So this area is half 6 plus 1 by m plus 9m. This is the area. Now you have to minimize this area. So if I use AM GM on 1 by m and 9m, so we know that AM greater than or equal to GM. So arithmetic mean of 1 by m and 9m is 1 by m plus 9m by 2. Geometric mean is under root 1 by m into 9m. So from here you can say that 1 plus 1 by m plus 9m is greater than or equal to 6. So hence, what is the minimum area? Minimum area is half 6, and this 1 by m plus 9m, 1 by m plus 9m is also 6. The minimum area is 6 here. So 6 should be the correct answer. For this type of question, you can directly keep a result in your mind. If a line is passing through the point alpha comma beta, let's say if I choose this point as alpha comma beta, and cutting x-axis and y-axis on the positive side, then minimum area of this triangle will be 2 alpha beta. Just keep it as a result in your mind. It will save the time. Minimum area of the triangle will be 2 alpha beta. So here alpha is 3, beta is 1. The minimum area will be 2 into 3 into 1. Okay, let's see this question. This is from PNC, permutations and combination. N is the number of ways in which 4 boys and 5 girls can stand in a queue so that all the 5 girls all the 5 girls are consecutive, means they are together. So let's write n first. So n is the number of ways in which 4 boys and 5 girls are arranged in such a way that all 5 girls are together. So since all 5 girls are together, you will consider them as a single unit, single person, single block. So 4 boys and a single block means 5 persons. So the arrangement of 5 persons is 5 factorial. Now you have considered these 5 girls as a single block, but these 5 girls can be arranged within themselves, within the block. The 5 girls can be arranged among themselves within the block in 5 factorial ways. So hence n is 5 factorial into 5 factorial. Let me repeat. First consider the 5 girls as a single block. So 4 boys and a single block, 5 persons arranged in 5 factorial ways. Now you will say that these 5 girls can be arranged among themselves within the block in 5 factorial ways. So hence n is 5 factorial into 5 factorial. Now m. In m they are saying that in how many ways you can arrange 4 boys and 5 girls so that exactly 4 girls are together, not all 5. Exactly 4 are together. One girl should be separated from these 4. So here what I will do, let's arrange 5. How many boys do you have? 4 boys. Let's arrange 4 boys first. B1, B2, B3, B4. I'm writing n now. No, n was actually first. I'm writing m now. So first arrange these 4 boys. So these 4 boys can be arranged in 4 factorial ways. Now you have these 5 gaps between these 2 boys and 2 gaps at the ends. So total 5 gaps you have. Gap method I'm using. So total 5 gaps you have between the boys and including these 2 gaps at the ends. So 5 gaps. Out of these 5 gaps, I will choose 2 gaps. 5C2. I will choose 2 gaps. Why I'm choosing 2 gaps? In one of the gap, I will arrange 4 girls together, and in another gap, I will put a separate girl, the 5th girl. So now, in one of these 2 gaps are selected. Okay, let's say these 2 gaps are selected. Let's say these 2 gaps are selected. Any 2 gaps are selected. Let's say this gap and this gap is selected out of 5. Now, in one of these 2 gaps, I will arrange 4 girls together, but I don't know which 4 girls are together. I don't know which 4 girls are together. So now I'm choosing 4 girls from 4 girls from 5 girls. So now these 4 girls are together, a block, and a separate girl, 5th girl. This block contains 4 girls and a 5th girl. So these 2 will be arranged in these 2 places. So in these 2 means you can consider these as 2 persons. So arrange these 2 in these 2 gaps, this gap and this gap, the 2 selected gap, in 2 factorial ways. But the 4 girls here in the block can be arranged among themselves. So the 4 girls in the block can be arranged among themselves in 4 factorial ways. So this is n actually. 4 factorial, 5C2, 5C2, 2 factorial, 4 factorial. Now what they are asking m by n. So 4 factorial, 5C2 is 10. Again 5C2 is 10. 2 factorial. Then 4 factorial. And denominator is 5 factorial, 5 factorial. Right. So now what I'm getting? If I divide 4 factorial with 5 factorial, so I will get 5 here. 4 factorial, 5 factorial, so I will get 5 here. Then 5 into 2, 10. 5 into 2, 10. So I'm getting 2, 2, 2. Means it should be 8 here. So m by n should be 8. Why they have written 4? Am I doing some error? M is right. 4, 5 factorial, 5 factorial. Oh, I've written 5C4 as my bad. I've done some calculation error only here in that numerator. Let me repeat. Everything is right. Only I missed some. I did some calculation error in the end. The numerator is actually 4 factorial. then 5C2, which is 10, then 5C4 actually, 5C4 will be 5, then 2 factorial, then 4 factorial, and then 4 factorial, and denominator is 5 factorial, 5 factorial, 5 factorial, 5 factorial. So now you can see that you will get 4 actually. This 4 factorial into 5, this 5 into 4 factorial will be 5 factorial cancel. Then you will get 4 factorial, cancel 5 factorial, so you will get 5 here. Numerator is 20, denominator is 5, so it is 4 here. Everything is right, only I did some calculation error at the end. Okay, let's see this question. This is from probability. So you have a normal die, standard die, with 1, 2, 6 dots on 6 faces. Same means on 6 faces you have 6 dots. On one face you have 1 dot, then 2 dots, then 3 dots, 6 dots. Now one of the 21 dots from any one of the 6 faces is removed. Means you have randomly removed one of the dots from any of the 6 faces. You don't know from which face dot is removed, but one dot is removed. Each dot is equally likely to be removed. Now this die is rolled. This die is thrown. So what is the probability that the top face has an odd number of dots? Means when you are throwing this die, so what is the probability of getting an odd number? Means odd number of dots on the top face. And this probability is given as P. So what will be 21P minus 5? So let's write the probability. So see, I don't know from which face dot is removed. So two possibilities are there. Dot is removed from odd face or dot is removed from even face. Odd face means on one of the die you have 1 dot. On one of the die you have 3 dot. And on one of the die you have 5 dot. You have 5 dot. Okay, just right. And here 2, 4, 6. On one 2, on other 4, 6. So two possibilities are there. First case, let's say I'm writing the total probability. What will be the probability P? So dot removed from odd face, and then we are getting an odd number on the top face, or dot removed from even face, and then getting odd number on the top face. Two possibilities. Now what is the probability that dot is removed from odd face? So total 21 dots are there, and an odd face, how many dots will be there? 1 plus 3 plus 5, 1 plus 3 plus 5, 9. So dot is removed from odd face, the probability is 9 by 21. See, total 21 dots are there, and on odd faces you have 9 dots, 1 plus 3 plus 5, 1 plus 3. So dot is removed from odd face, this probability is 9 by 21. And see, from one of the odd faces, one dot is removed. So now you have only 2 faces. Now you have only 2 faces out of 6 faces which has odd number. Okay, let's say the die containing 3, 1 dot is removed here. This dot is removed. So now you have only 2 dots here. So actually, if 1 dot is removed from odd faces, one of the odd faces, so now out of 6 faces, only 2 faces has odd numbers. So hence, getting an odd number will be 2 by 6. The probability of getting an odd number will be 2 by 6. This is the first case. Second case, dot is removed from even face. So on even face, you have 12 dots total. So probability of getting a dot removed from the even phase is 12 by 21. Total 12 dots. 12 dots means 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Now, from one of the even phases, one dot is removed. From one of the even phases, one dot is removed. So now you will have 4 phases out of 6 having odd number. You will have 4 phases out of 6 having odd number. See, 135 is already there in the odd number. 135 is already there with the odd number. And from one even phase, you have removed one dot. Let's say from even phase means, let's say from 6, you have removed one dot. So that becomes 5. So now you have 4 phases out of 6 having odd number. So probability of getting odd number will be 4 by 6 now. So it is 18 plus 48 by 126. 18 plus 48 is what? 66 by 126. 66 by 126. Can we cancel it? So it will be divisible by 6. So 11 here and 21 here. This is P. This is P. So hence 21P is 11. 21P minus 5 they are asking. 11 minus 5 means 6. 6 should be the correct answer here. Yes, 6. Right? Okay guys, let's wrap up this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care. God bless you all.